Hi, everyone. Hi, how are you? I pray nothing but God's blessings and favor upon your life today. I hope that you had a successful work day. I pray that all is well with you guys. Guys, forgive me for coming in a little bit late. I was talking to the phone company because my data, you know how I connect with you guys on a weekly basis, it was going down, and I'm like, well, I need connectivity and I pay for a specific plan, and it was some type of delay, and we were having some issues with just understanding one another, so we got it kind of squared away, and I'm able to connect with you guys. That's why I say always, guys, support the channel, support. Because if you want me to connect with you guys with these wonderful topics and good content, I need to be able to have data. So, guys, you already know what to do. $ CLAYLING. Guys, before we get started, I want you guys to keep my husband in prayer. He needs it. He needs it. He needs it. He needs it. That the Lord will touch his body. Okay. All right. So I'm asking you all just to be with me in prayer for my husband because he needs it, guys. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Beefy. I appreciate that, guys. We diving into something. Hey, Shawanda, I send nothing but love your way. Beefy, I send nothing but love your way. Joshua, send nothing but love your way. Because guess what, guys? You all deserve it. Thank you for just being my queenies. Even though you guys my keenies, for supporting the channel. I appreciate that so much. You guys don't know. It makes me feel so good when you guys come into the live and you guys sit here with me and chat with me and moderate for me. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. I honestly do not. Hey, answer me this, guys. Have you guys been enjoying my shorts? Have you guys been enjoying my shorts? I've been trying to put some interesting things up there for you guys to look at throughout the day, and I try to update them in the morning, or sometimes I try to update them at least twice a day so that you guys can have something interesting or something to say, wow, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Wow, look at that. Sometimes, like I say, we need oh, you are good. Thank you, Joshua. Sometimes we need a brain break. Sometimes you just need to, thank you, Beefy. Sometimes you just need to scroll through and be like, let your brain relax. Sometimes I can say sometimes all of the time I have a heavy workload. Even though I'm a teacher, most of the job is paperwork because it's a state funded program. So I have tons of paperwork, and I just be sitting there clicking and clacking on my computer. And sometimes I'll take a brief break and scroll on somebody reels or somebody shorts. And so I say, hey, I can do this for myself, and I can do it for you. And that's exactly what I have been doing. It's uploading them just for you guys. Okay, so I hope you guys have been enjoying them. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. We're talking about mental illness, black men, and mental illness. A lot of people don't cover this topic, and a lot of black men don't talk about it because y'all gonna get me for saying this, but whatever. A lot of men are not emotional. A lot of men don't know how to articulate their emotion. They don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They just let it play over and over and over in their mind. And we have a tendency to talk about other races and how they just snap and they go postal because they can't take the pressures or the oppressions of the world, and they just go poke. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you. And so they just snap, right? Well, guess what? Black men had the same issues. Black men are emotional. They just deal with it in a certain way. So we're gonna dive into that today. We're gonna talk about it. I don't got no articles and nothing like that. I'm just gonna give y'all the real. One thing I want y'all to check out on my channel is that Naya. I want to say Nazaria, but it's not. It's not Nazaria. I want to pronounce her name correctly before I even get started. So hold on, let me see, because I want y'all to check out that video. So let me go right over to my page right quick and let me I want y'all to look at that video that I posted on my page because it is out. Yeah, Nazaya. The Nazaya. So the video is titled Nazaya. Detroit pulls up. So what happened was this content creator that's local, his name is Mark. he has been covering the Naziah story from the street perspective, and then he's also been partnering with her cousin Roxy. You know, Naziah, the young girl that we are still looking for. I want to say they said a week ago they found the body, but I haven't been seeing it consistent in the news, and I haven't really covered it because I'm from Detroit, and it's a very sensitive story and it's kind of heavy, so I didn't want to cover it. However, this past weekend, I want to say they went to the house of one of the aunties, their twin sisters, and they went in, like just pulled up, because there is a lot of speculations around the family and how they dealt with the situation. And I don't want to speculate, so everything's allegedly. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and protect ourselves and put up this banner. However, I want you to go on my channel and I want you to go look at that Naziah story. So like I said, a local content creator went to the house of the aunt and pulled up with his whole team and went inside of their house and began to ask questions. And they also interviewed one of the family members' boyfriends, who was actually trying to get the aunt out of the house, and her sister. And the way it went down, it was raw, it was graphic, there is some profanity. It's unbelievable that all of these adults that was around this girl, and she still was able to come up missing, and nobody know nothing. Nobody know nothing. So we are asking for prayer that this story comes to a resolve. But yeah, go check that out on my channel, the Naziah story. Go check it out. I couldn't believe that they actually went to the house and pulled up and walked up in the family member's house. And they just did that. Amazon author Rayshawn Young. Hey, Rayshawn Young. Hey, I said nothing but love your way, because you deserve it. So yeah. Yeah. Go, go, go. Please go check that out. Go check that out. Okay. All right, let's get into this mental illness. So I want to cover this story from a woman's perspective, because I can't really tell you as a man, because I ain't a man. However, this is what I have observed over the years. I want to take my time because I want to bite into this, and I want to take slow bites, and I want to be articulate. Um, just as my perspective, and as being in the dating world and dating black men most of my life, what I have seen is that for some reason, there's two things. There's one thing that's primarily is going on. For some reason, there's a breakdown in communication. And as children, for black men, they have been told, you better not cry. You a man, you better not cry. I'm gonna beat your butt if you cry. So right then and there, they have been told initially as a child to not show emotion, to not show that you're hurt or something has bothered you so bad that you manifest that emotionally. You better not. Black men don't cry. You know that whole thing. And then also it's the communication, not not knowing how to communicate correctly, not knowing how to articulate their feelings. And I don't know how many times we have heard people say this, but it's just true. It is just true. For some reason, black men cannot, and I'm not saying all black men, I'm just saying from my experience that I have personally experienced, it's a hard thing for black men to communicate their emotions. And I have seen this and I've observed this even in black children. That's why, as adults, we are advocates for children. As teachers, we are advocates for children, and that's why you see. And I know I'm going. I know I'm going. Like, Queen, where you going? Just ride with me. A lot of times, you will see a lot of children get frustrated, especially toddlers, frustrated and mad, and they develop behavioral issues. And then you getting calls from the teacher. Can you come get so and so? He's starting to bite. You know what I'm saying? It's only because they cannot articulate what's going on around them. So they manifest their feelings and how they are feeling by being physical. So when they're at the age 1.5, or even younger, and they cannot talk to you yet because they haven't developed that skill of talking clearly, they act out physically, right? A lot of black men have not mastered that. Even though they can, have a dialogue with you, they have not mastered that skill of articulation. So you see a lot of black men become physical or aggressive because they don't know how to talk about what's going on inside of them mentally and internally. And if they let it go too long or don't let trauma come in their life, they develop mental illness. Now, anyone can develop mental illness on any scale, on any part of the spectrum of mental illness. They can develop that. It can come from trauma. It can come from a medical emergency. It can come from a life event. It can come from anything. Hey, good evening with Mika. I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it, beautiful. However, for some reason, and I'm not, and again, I'm not generalizing this for everybody. I'm just speaking to a specific percentage. For some reason, we don't identify it as mental illness. We won't get therapy for it. We will not go get help for it. And this is why I said on the other show that sometimes black women become black men psychiatrists and psychologists because we got to sit there and listen to you in the midnight hour, go through your thing, or we on the recipient end of your bad behavior, or we are on the recipient end of your meltdowns, and then we have to be your therapist, and then we have to uh create ways or create an environment where you're always calm, or we're always walking on eggshells around you. Now, this is also vice versa. This also happens in the female, in the black women arena too. But I'm addressing the black man tonight. I've already covered women and mental illness. I did a show on it, so I don't want y'all to think I'm being biased because I'm not. But however, we don't like that stigma of mental illness, especially in our community. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. For some reason, mental illness, regardless of where it's at on the spectrum in regards to you, your relationship, your family, it manifests itself in so many weird ways. For instance, you may have trauma in your life because something happened to you. Let's say somebody stepped out on you, and your mate stepped out on you and got a second child. Instead of you dealing with that pain and that hardship, what you do is you ignore the whole child. Y'all don't talk about the child in the house. You don't talk about how it made you feel. You go around as if the person don't exist. Or let's say there's a case of a molestation in the family. You all do not acknowledge it. You act like it don't exist. You blame the victim. You blame the child. You don't even want them saying anything about it. They get punished for talking about it because it is so much trauma you don't want to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? And this happens a lot with black men who go to prison. And I know it's a lot of black men that may watch this on a replay and they're going to be cringing. Like, please, I know you're not going to go there. I'm about to go there. Nobody's asking you to disclose what happened to you. Your trauma is your trauma. But just know that it displays and it shows up in your life, sometimes in a toxic way, and it spills over to other people's lives that are around you in a toxic way. You got some men who ain't gonna never express what happened to prison, and that's their prerogative. It's their business. However, it has messed with you mentally because it is trauma. When a man is being taken advantage of or has been violated, their masculinity has been taken away. That's a lot for that man to deal with. And rather than them to deal with it, they bottle it in. They bottle it in and they won't talk about it. They become hard. They become non-responsive. They just hard to deal with. They develop PTSD. They become bipolar. And it's all because of trauma. These are things that black men were not born with. You understand what I'm saying? So when they're dealing with trauma in their life, no one is telling them to go get therapy. Therapy didn't become a popular thing until the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm in therapy. You in therapy? Yeah, I'm in therapy too. Black people normally didn't talk about that because if you talked about it, then that means something was wrong with you. And you know how black folks don't like for anything to be wrong with them. You understand what I'm saying? And so now here you got this man that did 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? Oh my. Hey Urban, how are you? I said nothing but love your way. Cause you deserve it. No, for real. How you doing, Urban? And so trauma and black men. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I really want to take my time tonight because I want to. What do I do this time? Please don't, please. Okay. But anyway, I'm prepared. I'm always prepared for you, Urban. I'm always prepared for you, Urban. I'm always. I love your dialogue. But trauma in black men and black family. I I'm trying. I wanna take my time. So a lot of times people say they go hand in hand. You have some affluent black people that have never experienced, you know, things like that, poverty or violence or living in a violent environment. You have some families that they haven't experienced that. But then you have a lot of black minorities that have. And so what is misdiagnosed as behavioral issues amongst our black men or our black young boys is just a manifestation of where they live or have grown in or have been exposed to, and they just did not get the help that they needed. Okay, I'm dealing with it. I'm saying but I have dealt with children that have been exposed to trauma. Oh, I really want to take my time. Men, little boys and little girls, they have been exposed to domestic trauma in their home, which caused them to have PTSD, which has caused them to have hypertension, which has caused them, yes, to have behavioral issues. And immediately, mainstream education wanted to label them and issue the medication. Without figuring, can we solve this issue through therapy, strategy, or technique? See, I'm a firm believer that some things can be reversed if we show them the right strategies or foster the correct environment when they are impressionable. That's why I teach early education now. Because I like to get the children when they're young, when their mind is ready to absorb. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm starting off in early childhood, because this is where it begins. Okay. A lot of times people go around saying, oh, you are a product of your neighborhood or they are a product of their environment. They may very well be. But how about as we as educators and leaders create a different environment for our young learners? And you say, Queen, why are you going here? Because you're supposed to be talking about men and mental illness. I'm getting there. When you are exposed to trauma and broken homes and poverty and malnutrition from the age of 4 to the age of 16, 17, that's a long time to be living in a toxic situation. Do you understand that? But there's hope. I know a young man who mother was a crackhead, lived in poverty. All he wanted to do was sports, was aggressive, went through the youth home, had a life of crime, grew up and did certain things. But he did not allow, he changed, for some reason, something clicked when he became an adult. And he changed his environment. He changed the way he absorbed and learned things. Went to school as an adult, got his degree, got a wonderful paying job, went back and bought his property. He's taking care of his entire family. He's out of that lifestyle, and he is now the product of a new environment that he created and fostered for himself. See, I'm a firm believer, if you address something dead on and become vulnerable and realistic about what's really going on in your life, things can be reversed and changed. Either you can live in that same trajectory of violence or nonverbal tools, or don't know how to articulate yourself, or whatever it is, or you can change your way of living, your environment, the way you learn, the way you speak, the way you resolve, the way that you problem solve. But you got to want to do it. Okay. Now you got these sect of black men that have grown up in certain environments that haven't that did not have I'm not gonna say problem because urban gonna be coming for me if I say this. But you have, it's not a traditional home. Not to say that all men gonna be this way. Don't y'all come for me, okay? But you got a set of circumstances that dictates a non-successful life. And now you got this man who wasn't taught the tools of articulation, wasn't taught that it's okay to voice your emotions or voice your opinion, that it's okay to say this hurt me, or it's okay to cry. Hey Katie, how you doing? Send nothing but love your way, beautiful, because you deserve it. Here you are with this man. And you living with this man. You living with this man. And every time something go wrong or something, he explodes. Because that's the way he handles emotion. Oh, I'm okay. Thank you so much. Every time you don't get something right, or you don't cross every T or dot every I in the household, he ready to go upside your head. Or every time he feel like you have not acknowledged him or abandoned him in some type of way by your choices, he blows up. And in your mind, you like, what's wrong with this man? Or the response you get is, you know how I am. You know I don't play. You know this ain't what it is. No, that is not normal. It's not normal to have to walk around on eggshells for somebody who is suffering from mental illness. And that is exactly what it is. Am I calling you crazy? No, I'm not calling you crazy. What I'm telling you is that somewhere down the line in your life, you did not develop, nor were you taught the tools of articulation or rationalizing your thoughts or conveying ideals well to others. You did not develop that. Or there was some type of trauma throughout the course of your life that caused you to have triggers. And it's unfortunate. And a lot of times black men don't want to tap into that. Baby, can you just talk to me? I ain't got time for all of that. What are we talking about? You already know what it is. What you want to talk about it for? What we talking about it for? Because it needs to be talked, and it's not a woman thing to want to talk about what's going on in our relationship or in our household, or what do we need to do with the children or the finances. There's nothing wrong with want to have sit down and have a conversation about that. Katie says a lot of people don't know emotional intelligence. It makes it hard to have a relationship with people like that. Come on, Katie. It makes it hard. And it's not a woman thing. All y'all women want to do is just talk. No, it's not about that. I just want to understand where you're coming from without getting my head shouted off, without getting knocked upside my head, without getting yelled at, without being dismissed or you being dismissive toward me because you don't know how to talk or your mind or your emotion shuts down whenever you have to be accountable for something. Something is wrong with you. When every time it's time for you to be accountable for something that you've done, you don't want to. And you deflect. And that goes both ways, women, female, and male. You know what I'm saying? I would like to open up a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? And some people, I'm not no talker. I knew somebody every time there was time for us to have a deep conversation or talk about or just see, hey, what's going on? They would just sit there quiet. Oh, I'm just letting you talk. Say what you got to say, cause just to frustrate me. I'm trying to have a dialogue with you, and you shut down because you don't know how to talk. Something happens to you when you open up. And it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? We can't understand if we don't talk. Come on. And this is something that you learn in preschool. I got, we have children every now and then that come throughout my class. I have one almost in every bunch in my class per semester. They may be on the spectrum a little bit. And they go to crying because they want something. They break down and have these meltdowns, and they're on the floor. They're screaming and hollering. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. It never fails. You said I'm good, thank you. Oh, you responded to Urban. Okay. So yeah, they fall out on the floor and they scream and holler. And my job is to get them to communicate because they may come in grunting, they may come making inaudible sounds, they may come clapping, rocking. I'm talking about children on the spectrum. And I will stop them and I will say, hey, I can't understand what you're saying because you're not talking. I need to hear your words so that I can help you. This is what I'm telling a 4-year-old. But sometimes we need to tell a 33-year-old the same thing. Can you please stop throwing the TV across the room, shouting, hollering at me, and tell me what is wrong so I can help you, so that we can help each other? Or I will let them go ahead and have their meltdown and I say, listen, hey, you let me know when you're ready to talk. When you're ready, come to me and we can talk and problem solve. Absolutely. Absolutely, Katie. No problem. No problem. No problem. Oh, thank you, Urban. I appreciate that. Urban's been sharing me out, and I appreciate it. I don't got that. I'm almost at 1,000. You know, I've been doing this for 3 years, but I love what I do. I love to have dialogue and conversation. I love to help one another. And I love to be a template, not even a template, but I love to pour into women, men, relationships. I love that. This is my thing. Okay. I'm a minister as well, you know. Um, but it's time out for all of this external physical behavior, and we need to start having more eternal mature behavior and sitting down and talking. But it's hard to get Ray Ray and KK to sit down and say, I need therapy, or we need a mediator to be able to convey our thoughts well to each other so that we can get a proper understanding. And that's all it is. It ain't really that deep. You understand what I'm saying? But here's the thing. If you've never learned how to ride a bike, when you first get on it, you're going to be a little bit wobbly, disoriented, not really knowing how to do, not really knowing how to hold your balance steady. But once you get your balance steady, then you can ride that bike. I said nothing but love your way, Mantis, because you deserve it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you have not learned those type of skills, and again, I go back to that 4-year-old in my classroom, when you are the most impressionable, when you're thinking with the front part of your brain, when you are absorbing tons of information daily, if you have not learned those tools and those strategies, it's hard to master them as an adult, but it's possible if you foster a new environment for yourself. But the first thing is identifying that I got something mental going on with me. Something is wrong with me. And that's the challenge of admitting that you're wrong or I need help. A lot of times when I'm talking, and Mantis probably can attest to this, he's never said it to me, but I hear it in his beats and his pauses when I'm talking. I overtalk. And I know people probably throwing books now saying hallelujah. I have a tendency to overtalk people. And I recognized it myself. Just watching back old videos, I recognized it. So I'm really over talking. So I'm practicing on taking beats and letting people finish their thoughts before I just jump in and start running my mouth. But what happens, I keep telling y'all with creative people, information is pouring in my mind really fast and I need to get it out. And I have to get it out because you have sparked something or you triggered something to me and I have to get it out. And so I'm like, blah, 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 and my mind is going, blah, 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 and I got to get out. And once I get it out, I'm like, okay, what you got to say? You know what I'm saying? Then I feel bad. Because sometimes I feel myself over talking somebody, but it's like, I got to get it out. That's the same thing with somebody who is dysfunctional or a dysfunctional individual. That they are either processing too much information or they're not processing enough information. Either way, they got to get it out. So it comes and it manifests either toxic or positive. You understand what I'm saying? Emotional intelligence. Excellent. I love that phrase, Mantis. Emotional intelligence. So here you got this sensitive man that's really sensitive, but they display themselves as aggressive. You done got on their nerves. You done triggered them. You done made them upset. You done made them mad. And next thing you know, y'all fighting. And it's all because you done hurt this man on a low, for real. You done hurt this man's feelings. But so now he got to rise up and beat his chest at you because you done hurt his feelings. Instead of sitting down and saying, hey, you know what? I really didn't like how you said that to me. I didn't like the way that you said that to me, and I was offended. But they're not gonna say that because they feel like to articulate that diminishes their masculinity in some type of way. I don't know why they feel like that, but it happens. There's no reason why there should be a tense, aggressive situation because somebody has offended you. No woman or no man, for that instance, should be in fear because you've done something that they don't like. You understand what I'm saying? I never in a million years, I never understand abusive men. When I look at abusive men, I look at hurt men. When I see a man beating a woman, I say that man is hurt and broken. Because in your mind, logically, you know this is wrong. But this is the only way that this man can speak or articulate himself, by being physical. So what does that tell us? What does that tell us? What does that tell us? And sit and think about that. Because this man feels mad or frustrated or angered, the only way he can express how he feels is by hurting somebody else physically. He has not developed the strategies to articulate what's going on inside of him. The only way he can make you understand how he feel is by hurting you and being physical with you. Hey, Scorpio mama, I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it. Something is wrong with that man's mental makeup. Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. It is mental illness. Another aspect of mental illness that I want to talk about is depression. You got a lot of black men and black women, but we're specifically talking about black men. And I want to tell you, I do have again a show on women and mental illness. You just got to go find it. It's there. Depression. Depression comes from a couple of different sources. Now, I can't tell you why you're depressed, but I know what I have seen repeatedly amongst early learners and what I have seen amongst a few men. They feel like they are lacking something inside. There's a void. Sometimes it comes from abandonment of their mothers. It comes from trauma. And it comes from low self-esteem. Do men have low self-esteem? They absolutely do. I did a documentary called Big Love. Go find it. It's on my other YouTube channel, Clayton Woods. Hey, how you doing, B Fast? And nothing but love your way. I did a documentary called Big Love. I talked to a young man who said, yes, at one point he was insecure and depressed about his size. And he thought no woman would accept him until he met his wife. And he suffered with that depression, self-image, comparing yourself, low self-esteem. Thank you so much, Beefy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Support the channel. Support the channel, guys. Y'all know this is a business. CLAY, $CLAYLING. Okay. Lacking, feeling like you ain't good enough for your family, or you're not good enough, or you don't fit in with everybody. I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a lot of black men and white men, whatever, but we focusing on black men. It's a lot of black men that project because they want to mirror what's around them, what's in society, what's in their neighborhood, or what's in their family. And if they don't level up, or if they don't reach that threshold, they have a problem. They got a problem. I'm not good enough. They ain't gonna never tell you that. Or I feel like I ain't good enough to get married. Or I feel like I ain't good enough to do this. Or I don't feel like I'm you know what, dog, I'm the black sheep of the family anyway. They basically telling you I'm depressed. I don't fit in. And they walk around with a chip on their shoulder. And sometimes they're a little bit arrogant. Sometimes sometimes they overcompensate for what they think they are lacking. Or sometimes they become more arrogant, or sometimes they dabble off into things that they should not dabble off into to make themselves more interesting, because they feel like they have to fill a void. And something is wrong here. Something is wrong. And a lot of times people be like, oh, it's because nobody told you that you was good enough, or they didn't pour into you as a child. Yeah, that could be. But you know, there was a study that came out, and it talked about how parents should not praise their children. Should not praise their children all of the time. Woo, baby, you did that square. Ooh, look what you did. Ooh, you the best. You the best out of everybody. Can't nobody beat you. And you constantly gaslighting this child over and over again. They telling you, you ask them what the letter A is, and they telling you 3. Woo, that's a good try. Blah, 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 blah. And then when they get a mainstream education, they're failing. You're not correct. Instead of praising them for their effort, you need to correct them so that they can achieve. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Stop saying, oh, baby, you did so good. No, you ain't do good. That's not it. The answer is wrong. Let me show you what is the correct way, how to do that. You understand? One thing I cannot stand, definitely correct them. Absolutely. One thing I cannot stand, and the reason why you sticking on young kids, because these young Pookie and Ray Rays grow up to be mentally ill men. Okay. One thing I cannot stand, and that's to see people laugh and joke, and when children show bad behavior, you are, girl, look what he said. He over here cussing folks out, and you are, girl, look what he said. He over here knocking over some, ooh, child, he done got mad. Pookie, don't you get so mad. No, your child got an issue with aggression that you need to deal with now, so you won't be called to high school, or the police won't call you to come get him. Do that make any sense? Does that make any sense? When you live in a world, and we are experiencing that now, and I'm not gonna get too deep because I don't want the people in the Black Coast to show up at my door. But we're experiencing that now. When you live in a world where nobody ever tell you that you're wrong, and nobody ever tell you no, and people are applauding when you are wrong, and people never correct you, you may think you want to grow up to be president and change the whole way we see democracy. Allegedly. Something is wrong with you mentally. Mental illness, depression, walking around with this mask, but you really crying and aching on the inside because you have a void. You have a void. And you come home every day crying on your girl's shoulder. Don't nobody love me. I don't know what's wrong with me. And you got all these kids running around, and the wife in there cooking. I ain't good enough. Don't nobody. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? We got to deal with your quirks and your angst. We got to deal with not triggering you. We got to walk on eggshells to not make you mad. We have to build you up and applaud you every day, all day long, so that you won't crash. We got to make sure we make you feel like the big chief all the time. That's a lot of energy. And I'm not saying don't celebrate your men, because I most definitely celebrate mine. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a normal normal adoration, and then there's an excessive amount. I watch and I see these influences that promote being a man and taking care of your woman, and you gotta be this, or you ain't a man if you ain't doing that. I'm like, I get all of that, but sometimes it is to the extreme. Who needs all of that all of the time? Somebody that's lacking something. Something is wrong with you. And sometimes you project that energy off to other people and try to make them feel like something is wrong with them. But it ain't, it's you. You understand what I'm saying? It's weird and it's odd when you can't never see nothing right in nobody else but you. You ain't never wrong. That's narcissistic and all of that. I'm always right. I'm the chief. This and that. Something is wrong with you. You can't never rationalize your thoughts or be rational with nobody. Something is wrong with you. Because you always want to be right, because you always want to be on top, because there's a void, there's a fear of failure, a fear of being wrong, and you can't comprehend that. You don't want to deal with that accountability. Women are like that too. There's some women out there too that you can't tell them nothing. Depression, that doom or gloom all over your life, because my daddy wasn't around. My daddy left us, and that's why I am the way that I am. No, I don't want nobody to come over to my house, because you know how I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with nobody. I don't want you no bad news. That's what should be across your head, your forehead. No bad news. Kids can't do nothing. Wife can't do nothing, because you got a control spirit on you. Something is wrong with you, because you never had control of your life. So now I'm gonna control my domain. Something is wrong with you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And all it will take is for you to change your environment and become the product of your new environment. Get you some help and some therapy, and learn how to talk your feelings out. I never forget what my husband said. He said, "Babe, we don't leave. Nobody's leaving. We either talk it out, we either fight it out, or we F it out. But we going to articulate and express ourselves some kind of way, so that we do not assume anything about each other." Do you know the danger? Do you know the chicken have come home to Oh, I love me some Scorpio mama. Do you know the danger of assuming something about somebody? Do you know the danger of that? That could be a life and death situation, assuming something about somebody, because you have not opened up your mouth and articulated yourself. I don't never like to assume. I don't never like to assume anything about anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm a talker. I'm a talker. If you get in an argument with me, we're going to talk that thing out until I'm done talking it out, till I'm done expressing myself. Because I want you to get a clear understanding of what I'm thinking and who I am and what I'm trying to convey to you. So when we walk away, you already know what's up. You understand what I'm saying? Depression, that loneliness, that longing, nothing can really make you happy. You don't never smile. The kids are scared of you. The grandkids are scared of you. Nobody wants to be around you, because you just projecting, "I'm not happy with life." Depression is mental illness. It is a product of mental illness, and it's a lot of depressed men. They're not making the money that they want to make. They're not making the job that they want to make. Maybe they're not being the father that they want to be. Maybe they're not being the husband that they want to be. Maybe they can't stop cheating, and they don't know how to stop. Maybe they have let their own self down in life. Maybe they have just settled in life and have not gone on to be what they truly want to be. But something has hurt you in life, and you project that off onto others, and it's not fair. You understand what I'm saying? And you keep it bottled in. You keep it. What's wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with me. Go on to bed. Why the F we got to keep on talking about what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? Nobody wants to hear that, because we all know it's you. You're the elephant in the room. You understand what I'm saying? Mental illness. We are taught as children, you got to be strong, and specifically in the black race, in our community, you got to be strong, because ain't nobody gonna give you no handout, which is true. They're not. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you. You got to be strong. Wipe them tears. You a man. Who said men can't cry? Who said that? Life gonna beat you hard. You better be strong. How, if you do not show your emotion and you do not articulate it, where does that where does that all of that physicality, where does it go? If you bottle it in, where does it go? That's why you got people who just explode. I used to be around a young man. He had a very rough temper. I mean, but to talk to him, he's really mild mannered. Like, hey, how you doing? He wasn't, I'm just saying he wasn't feminine, but he was just mild mannered. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, that type of thing. Always smiling until he got mad. And then when he got mad, everything flew. Chairs, broken windows, anything, everything just exploded in the house. And it's like, oh my God. See, that anger and that emotion, it has to go somewhere. But when you keep it bottled in, that's when you haul off, and next thing you know, you locked up. Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong. I can appreciate someone that's in therapy and talking about it. I can appreciate that because it's not fair to your family, your loved ones, and who you're living with and who you're loving on. It's just not fair. It's not fair. I spent years trying to get to someone. What goes on in the house stays in the house. Scorpio mama, it ain't staying in the house. That's the problem. And it shouldn't stay in the house. It needs to come out of the house and into the therapy room or into that bedroom where we having a conversation and creating a dialogue. We as adults, black individuals, we need to grow up. We need to grow up and be accountable. And that's one of the main things is we don't want to be accountable for anything. We don't want to be wrong. We want to walk around, ain't nothing wrong with you, but every time somebody asks you a question, you hollering and yelling at them, or you cussing them out. I one day I was in my apartment and I heard this lady cussing. I mean, cussing. I thought she was in danger, so I opened up my door because I was gonna help her. She's sitting there cussing out a 4-year or 2-year-old kid who can barely walk up the stairs. Bring your blankety blank up. She was mad, bitter, because she had this whole life before she had a child. Young doing her thing. I used to watch her from time to time. She young doing her thing. Now all of a sudden she's a mother. She cussing this boy out because he ain't walking fast enough to the stairs. He two. When I tell you it broke my heart. Because I don't look at things like normal people. I was looking at her like a minister and a therapist. Like what has hurt you? Why are you so angry and bitter at a child who hasn't even developed his gross motor skills yet? Hey, Lionel, say nothing but love your way because you deserve it, King. A 2-year-old kid. I mean, cussing him out like he was a grown man. Thank you so much, Lionel, for the support. So that let me know a couple of things. One thing is that you mad because you get your mother. Two, you should not be a mother. You understand what I'm saying? And three, you are reflecting your anger and your frustration with the father onto this child who can barely even talk. It broke my heart because my thing is, okay, if you yelling and cussing him out, are you abusing him? That was my next thing. You understand what I'm saying? Anger, holding that stuff in and not talking, it can develop mental illness and has in a lot of people. You got a lot of people that working jobs, they just is off and crazy. And the older they get, the more crazier they get. I had someone tell me the older I get, the worse my demons get. Because of stuff that they have not dealt with. That has scarred them for life. And they haven't dealt with it. They try to drink it out. They try to drink it away. When is anger justified? When is anger justified? Anger is justified in self-defense. When your life is in danger. It's okay to even the Bible say be angry, but sin not. Anger towards a 2-year-old kid and cussing them out. No, that's inappropriate. Anger is justified. It is a justifiable emotion. It's part of our humanity. It's just how you allow it to manifest, or how you deflect it in your life. If you angry, you feel like you gotta hurt somebody to show them that you're angry or that they done made you mad. That's the problem. Now, if you trying to defend yourself, then yeah, be angry. You trying to save your life, yeah. But to walk around angry at the world all day long, and to make other people feel a certain way because you angry when they don't even understand why you angry, or they don't even know that you angry, or you treating them a certain kind of way because your life is broken on the inside and you just don't know how to articulate it, or you scared to tell somebody that you broken. That's wrong. You got a plethora of broken relationships trailing behind you because you broken and something wrong with you, and you don't know how to address your childhood issues. Something is mentally wrong with you. You need to go get help. I recognize I had some mental illness going on when my best friend passed away. When my best friend passed away, one of my best friends, I have two, I felt like, and every time I talk about it, I get a little bit emotional. I felt like there was a hole in me, and I was just being sucked inwardly into this hole. I felt like I was free falling through my emotions of pain and hurt. And I did not know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. That's how bad I felt. Because I felt like this woman was an anchor, one of my anchors that held me down to the ground, that held me down to life. And when that thing, first of all, I lost a lot of people that I was close to me. My circle wasn't big, but the people who were in my circle, I lost three of them back to back because of COVID. Four. They just started dying. Oh, every time I think about it, I get emotional. They just started dying. And I thought if I could just get to them, if I could just lay hands on her, she would be okay. We flew to Florida because we were supposed to go to Florida. We were doing a family and friends trip, and she invited me to Florida. I see your comment line now. I see it. And I got sick and I couldn't go. So I said, no, I'm not going to go. She said, I'm going to go. She had just went to Florida, but she wanted to take the girls back. She contracted COVID. She didn't tell nobody. She got it because she wanted to take her girls. When I found out, I said, turn back around while you can, because Michigan got better health care here and Florida's a hot spot. So please don't go. She went anyway. She consequently passed there in Florida, and her husband passed away from COVID here in Detroit. It was in People magazine. They left 7 children. That thing hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad that I started having panic attacks. I started developing panic attacks. And I shut down for like 2 months, and I would only talk to my mother, my surrogate mother. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want a life anymore. And I prayed to God, and I said, God, I know you're not going to leave me like this. I know you're not going to leave me in this state. And I got to the point to where even now, and I'm probably being too transparent, but I want to help somebody. Mental illness is real. I fell into a deep depression. Even now, I am just now beginning to go back out and engage socially, because I had started developing anxiety when I was getting. I didn't want to go and do anything. And one pivotal moment was when I was driving up the street, and anything would just make me cry. Like I would just emote, like sob, like overly. Just it was abnormal. But my uncle passed away, and you know how you have those family members you close to them, but then you're not. Whatever. I was sobbing. I had to pull over. In my car, and I was sobbing. I said, "This is not normal. This. I mean, it's all." I don't want y'all to think I'm insensitive, but it just was not normal. So I enlisted a grief therapist. I realized I had a a problem. Thank you, Scorpio Mama. Yes, this is the year of accountability. You say help doesn't always help through though, but it doesn't mean take it out on people. I agree. Absolutely, Ninel. Yeah, 2025 is a year of accountability. I started going to grief therapy, which helped me out tremendously. And it also helped me see things in my other relationships in my life. So I realized I had a fear of abandonment. And so that was one of the reasons why I latched on so tight to things and did not want to let them go because of my childhood, because I didn't have a lot. So whatever I did get something, I was possessive and latched on to it. It did not, and held on to it so tight that when it left me, it left a mark or a scar or a wound because I just held on to it so tight. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And so I did that. I went on to therapy and it helped me tremendously. He taught me techniques that helped me. And I didn't feel like something was wrong with me. I didn't feel crazy. I just felt like I needed help. And that's what it is. The totality and getting down to the nitty gritty of something. We just need help for whatever has affected us, whatever has scarred us in life, whatever trauma we have went through, whatever we did not develop as young adults or children. We need coaching and development of that and help, and that's all it is. But some reason she probably mad at the daddy. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where you going. Who's mad at the daddy? Tell me. Who's mad at the daddy, Scorpio? Tell me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying to my black men, and I'm not being good evening, Queen. How you doing? I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it. Thank you for joining the show, SBK. Thank you. So what I'm saying as black men, it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it is okay to be vulnerable sometimes. It is okay to be vulnerable and say, I need help. And that's for any individual. I need help. I found out when you be transparent in your relationship and articulate yourself in your relationship, it helps. Now we know how to deal with you. Now we know how to respond to you. Now we know how to handle you. Now we know how to engage with you. Now we know, okay, you need your space sometimes. Now we know it is really okay to be vulnerable around women. Yes. Yes. It does not diminish you as a man to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be transparent, because that's what we want. Because now we can see. I can see through this. I can see what's on the other side of that door. I can see that it's safe to go in because it's transparent. What difference if if it's a woman or a man or a child or whatever? Yes, it is okay to be transparent. Nothing's gonna happen. To see that fear of you see me like this, you're not gonna see my masculinity, you're not gonna see me as a man. That needs to go out the door because what's happening is we're getting a whole lot of deflection. We ain't getting the real you, and we don't understand why you explosive. We don't understand why you're closed in or shut off. We don't understand why you talking to me like this, you behaving to me like this. And again, this can go both ways, female and male. This is for everybody. Why is it not okay for you to tell me what's really going on so we can handle this head on? To be vulnerable. Sometimes we as women, we need to pick our men up. There was an episode where that lady, Ivana Fix My Life, she wrapped that man up in a sheet and let him lay in that bed and cry. And that was one of the most powerful things he could have ever did. By his own admit. He admitted that himself. You need to keep your eye on that little boy, fam. Okay. It is okay to be vulnerable. Especially when you in a relationship with an individual who you consider the one, or y'all on this life journey together. I need to know how to handle you. I need to know when I need to pick you up. Just like you need to know when you need to pick me up or hold me or be my protection. Do you know women can be protection too? Do you know that? We are helpers one to another. A lot of times when my husband began to articulate himself to me, and he used to, when he started expressing himself, he said, babe, I'm not saying this stuff for you to go do or go into action. He said, I'm just saying this stuff so you can know how I feel in that moment. And I'm just simply just talking to my wife. I thought that was powerful. That's the first man, second man, first, I don't know. It was like I never heard that before from a man. I thought, wow, he is okay with his masculinity. And he's also okay with being transparent. You said, I think I am speaking as a man when men are skeptical about being transparent because of things we tell our women will be used as a weapon against us. Absolutely not. Not when you're dealing with a level-headed. Now, I can't speak for all women, but for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't weaponize my man weakest moments. That's unfair. I welcome it. I welcome that moment because it shows your humanity and it shows that you trust me. It is not for me to take that moment and throw it back in your face or weaponize it against you. But that's not a reason why you should walk through life not being transparent or being true or articulate yourself to the person that you're walking through life with. That's a lot of weight and baggage to carry through life. I can't show my weakness. I can't articulate what I'm really feeling. I can't because it may be thrown up in my face. I'm going to hold it in. Well, then they really don't know who you really are. You said facts. If you see something, say something. You are so right. Happened to me and every man I know. Wow. Queen, I get that you're speaking for you, but a lot of men have experienced what SBK is saying. Absolutely, and I know it. And I know it to be true. I know it to be true like now. I'm not discarding that at all. Just all it takes for you to do something they don't like, and then boom, they're airing out all of that pillow talk. That's not a woman, Urban. That's not a wife. That's not a strong woman. That's not a woman. That's not a woman. That's not a woman of integrity. You hear what I say? That may happen a lot, and I'm not going to discredit and say that it don't, but that is not a woman with integrity, and that's not a woman who knows how to be a wife. That's a woman who do not know how to carry the mantle of a wife. I think it disgusts me. And I'm so glad you said that because it really triggers something to me because I have seen that quite often, and it disgusts me. I cannot stand to see a wife disclose their personal private business or when their wife or when they feel that their husband has came up short in a certain area and you're going to go publicly and discuss it among other women. I think that's inappropriate and you are not protecting your husband. I am a stickler for protecting my man. Do you hear what I say? But when we find out later, we don't see this until it happens. Yeah. Because you're like, okay, you just stabbed me in the back. Here I am showing you a little, I peel back a little layer and you gonna take advantage of it. I get it. And so then you start not trusting. Oh, I can't really show you. I can't really show you my vulnerable side. I can't really articulate my feelings when I'm feeling down, or this may hurt me, or I felt the kind of, do that job. He fronted me off and that made me feel some kind of way. You ain't, yeah, because it make you hold back. I get it. I'm with you, Queen, and I hear you, but majority of women these days don't share that your feelings. Yeah, good thing I'm not in the majority. But I know right is right and wrong is wrong. And I go in between feminist and traditional conservative. However, I feel like you should always protect your man, even if he did wrong. Even if he did wrong, he did something wrong. That ain't for you to go tell nobody. That's for y'all to go work that thing out. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody ask me about being my man, me and my husband, we do well together. That's my answer. How y'all, me and my husband, we do well together. Because it's none of your business. And anything that you're going to always see is that my man is a king. Do you hear what I say? Because it's none of your business. The marriage is a covenant. And I feel like I done got off. Y'all done got me off my topic. But the marriage is a covenant. You should not be in breach of that covenant. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get off of my thing. You say, Queen, what you speak is foreign to most women. In other words, they don't make women like you. Let me tell you something. I'm one of a kind. You understand what I'm saying? If you ever been with me, you know what it is to be with a jewel. And if you lose me, you now have a void and you probably are mentally ill. No. You are not a feminist no more, thank God. My influence was shut up, Arvin. Shut up, Arvin. Shut up. I'm both. And I accept that I am both. I told you I know how to be submissive to my man, Urban. I told you that. The baby daddy. Oh, interesting. Okay, Lionel. Okay, yeah. So you see, when I look at the black man, you said, "God, I'm done with you, Urban. God is good." Listen, listen. And I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody want to chime in on mental illness amongst men. I am very interested in your opinion or whatever you might want to add. Control C. Yeah. Don't y'all hear me? Y'all hear me saying Control C? I'm old school. Um. So when you see the black man, or you may see them in their suit, and you may see them walking with their briefcase in their hand, and they're walking to work. I do case studies in my mind. You know, I'm always thinking, what weight is they carrying? What are they pulling? What got them there? How are they able to maintain this spot in life? Or I may see a man, someone in my life, a male figure in my life that's taking care of their family, and they pulling this weight, and the dynamics may not be right in their relationship, and I'll be feeling them. No, don't y'all be trying to say who's she talking about? I'm just speaking in general, and I'm saying to myself, man, they carrying so much emotional weight from this woman. Why is she so hard on him? You know what I'm saying? Or you can see somebody who is explosive. I'm always looking at different types of men or individual and wondering why they are the way they are. Because something is obviously going on the inside that they're not sharing, articulating. You understand what I'm saying? And I just want our black men to be accountable that it's okay to get some help. And don't go through life oblivious as if nothing is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with all black men. That's not what I'm saying. But if you notice something, if something is always going wrong, they don't never seem to last. So you are the common denominator. And it's okay to say, I need help. You said, so I told my ex stuff about me, but when she got mad just once, I'm effed up because I was born out of grape. Okay. My sister was, so I can kind of identify with you. And because my mom was 11, weaponized it against me, all because I said no. Wow, that is, what, Lionel? Let me tell you something. Just from the previous show, you have a very interesting story, and I know you probably in the process of writing a book or something. And I know that you can help a lot of black men, a lot of black men. You have a very interesting story. You said you start opening up to these women, LOL, and you and attack you with it the second they get mad. I'm so sorry that you have experienced that, but I want to tell you that all women are not like that. All women are not like that at all. And I'm sorry that you experienced that. And what I want to say is this: whatever your experience may be in relationship or with women or women with men, however, don't allow that to shape your trajectory and how you respond in future relationships. Because we can do that. I've done that. I've done that. Even when I first met my husband, I said I'm going in this relationship a certain way because I don't want it to end up like the previous one. So I'm going in a certain way. And it was just so wrong. I was apprehensive and skeptical of everything. It was only when I let go and just started being free and allowing myself emotionally, mentally to explore this individual and understand this individual is only when I started enjoying the relationship, because we get into this thing of so skeptical of people that we forget to enjoy humanity. We forget to enjoy the individual and enjoy life because we so waiting on the other boot to drop because of trauma and past hurt that you forget to enjoy the relationship. you know but there is a fear, and I get it, because it's like if I put myself all out there, if I invest myself all in out there, when they hurt me, it's gonna hurt so bad because I gave my all. So I'm only gonna give you part of me. You're not gonna get the whole totality of me. If you feel like you got to do that to that individual, then they may not be the one. Because I'm gonna tell you, real love will make you lose your mind about somebody. Real love will make you forget about all barriers, and it will just make you want to go smell flowers and look at butterflies and just be free. I'm telling you. And you see yourself doing stuff like, why did I do that? Love. And don't you want to experience that? Or maybe that time for you has passed. I don't know. I mean, you have the right to live your life the way that you want to live your life. Urban has real love. He'll tell you, oh, he does now. He got real. Okay, all right, Lionel. He got real love. He has it. Oh, so he out here living haphazardly through love. Cupid done shot him in his butt. Okay. Cupid shot him in his butt. Is he floating? Is he floating on wings of love, Lionel? He floating on. It says the key has been taken away. Oh, he is. I would love to see this individual. I would love to meet her or whoever. I would love to meet him because I want to know. I will. This woman has to be special. She has to be phenomenal, or this individual has to be special or phenomenal. Lionel, who is she? Tell me. Tell me. You mean to tell me that this man here, somebody done captured his heart? Who is it? We want to know. We at the cookout and looking over the gate, and we want to know, who is it? Come on, spill the beans. All right, guys, we gonna pause. Okay, he gonna tell me. Listen. He gonna tell me himself, y'all. Okay, who is it?
What you mean?
No, Lionel said that you is floating on the wings of love, that you got somebody special. That's what he just said.
Yeah, I'm married, duh.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Oh, you ain't said my
I'm
wife, my
I'm
this, nothing.
see, you just hearing what you want to hear. I told you that on the panel the last time that I was married to my wife, Mrs. Urban. You just
Yeah,
want to
I
hear
hear
what you
you.
want to hear.
You must have said it really fast because I didn't hear it. Don't laugh at me. I didn't hear it. Well,
Mm-mm-mm.
anyway, I know that she's a phenomenal woman. I know that.
Mm-hmm. She
She
is.
has to
She's a
be
phenomenal woman.
absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a phenomenal woman. She is. She is awesome. Very supportive and all that good old stuff. You know what I'm saying? She
Mm-hmm.
is. I appreciate her a whole lot.
What?
But now, yeah, I appreciate your show, man. Great, phenomenal show that you're doing, man. I appreciate what you're doing. And I do my best to support you any way I
Mm-hmm.
can. By either pulling up on the panel or sharing out your stream, and
Mm-hmm.
all that good old stuff. So,
I appreciate it because I thought I was about to get hammered with a hammer or something. I didn't know.
nah, what you mean? I'm not supposed to come over
I'm
here
just
and
saying, for some
destroy your
reason,
argument and nothing like that. I'm chilling tonight.
I've been catching it. I'm like, oh man, But I appreciate it. Thank you. I really want to talk about this because I almost feel like I want to be a mouthpiece or an advocate for black men tonight because we don't address it a lot. It is sometimes black women don't understand it a lot. They feel like their role is to correct the black man all of the time. And sometimes that's not it. Sometimes, just like you hinted on in the other show, you said, oh, I can sit down and talk to somebody if I need a psychiatrist. But oftentimes women do play that role, and we don't know that we're playing that role, but we do play that role. Do we want to play that role? Absolutely not. But sometimes during heated debates and arguments, we just naturally fall into that role. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we don't know it.
Nah, y'all just being hard headed. That's what it is. Nobody don't tell y'all to fall into that
See,
role.
you
Y'all
was
need to fall
doing
in line
good.
and be a help
You
and be a help me. We don't need y'all to be our therapists or psychologists. Just chill. Dang it.
bro,
Let's chill out. Just chill out
bro.
and allow us to lay our head on your lap and let us just chill and vent out our day. That's all we want you to do.
Right. And while I'm rubbing your head and laying on your lap,
Ah,
I'll be like,
we don't want you to
hey,
say
honey.
nothing. Just rub my
I'm like,
head on the
are
lap
you okay? Do you want what is it that you need? Tell me what you need. It's
for you
something
to
that I
shut
need to
up.
know.
For you to shut up and rub my head. That's it.
No.
That's all
Okay,
we
I'll
need.
give you that moment. I'll give you that. Sometimes we need that. Listen, when I went to go see my husband, I was so excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm just and he's there just flicking his phone, having a quiet moment. And plus he wasn't feeling the best, right? And I'm in the hotel just he was like, babe, why don't you go do whatever you was doing? Whatever you was doing, why don't you go do that? And I was like, oh, I done aggravated
and,
him.
and what was the lesson that you learned from this?
I went and took my shower and I went and laid down on the bed and I was engaged in whatever I was engaged and I gave him his personal space because I realized he needed his personal space all night.
In
And
other
he was
words, he
like,
told,
I
hey,
saw that you didn't roll over. Yeah, because you told me to go do what it is I was doing.
let's see. Mm-mm-mm.
It
And
was a tone for me.
you wonder why
Wrong. I was wrong.
and
Write it down.
you wonder why men don't be vulnerable and open up. Buddy, that's
No,
pretty much told you to chill out. Let me do my thing. And you sit up here and was being petty as hell. I ain't rolling over because you hurt my feelings because I want to do what I wanted to do.
I did.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I was petty that moment. I would admit that. I would admit it, and this probably be the only time I would admit it. Okay. screenshot this, screen record it. Okay. And so I was
Mm-mm-mm.
just like, oh, I'm gonna let you do your thing, baby, because I didn't like the tone. I didn't like how you told me. You could have told me that better.
What's up with
I
this
didn't like
tone policing though, man? Why do y'all ladies do that all the time? Try to tone
because
police us.
it's a respect thing. You don't have to talk at me or elevate your voice to get my attention or to get me to understand. It's like I don't have to raise my voice and yell at you.
Buddy is an African. That's normally how his voice is all the time.
No, it isn't. Normally it's oh my boo boo clay, blah blah blah. But I got on his nerves. He said, "Why don't you go do something else?" I'm like, "Why don't you go be dry tonight?"
It is okay. Hey, you can tell your husband we always have a place for him over here at the lounge.
Oh, trust me, he cannot wait. He can't wait. He can't wait for a sense of brotherhood over here. He can't wait. He cannot wait. When I say I'm like, I told him, I said, I'm keeping you in the house with a paper bag over your head because you would not be indoctrinated by these men over here. You would
Hey,
not.
hey, Lionel, I'm telling you, bro, they be wanting us to be all soft and stuff, right? Then the moment we become soft, oh, you're in your sassy area. You being all sassy.
He said, "No, the tone tells you how serious one is." Right.
Exactly. We said it the way that we said it. And we
Hmm.
meant it.
Right. But see, you not my daddy until I want you to be my daddy. And you don't talk to me like that. If I raise my voice to you saying I'm being out of order, you know what I'm saying? He got this thing where he'll say, "Woman," you know. Wait a minute, woman, I'm your husband, woman. I'm like, oh, here we go. And he do that husband finger. I'm like, watch that finger. Watch it.
That because Buddy is an African. Keep telling you, that's
Yeah.
part of their culture.
It is part of the course, but I told you the story of how he said, I'm supposed to walk 5 paces behind him. However, he's Christian, and he's like, we walk side. He's like, we walk side by side. You don't have to walk behind me. So it's some things he don't. He acknowledges in his tradition. Some things he doesn't. But I
Well,
still
hold up. Who idea was it for him to break his tradition? Him or you?
no. He just told me that. He just told me that cause I was gut. You listen. Let me tell you something. I am so enthusiastic about his culture. I want to be Nigerian. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like this. Whatever I can learn about his culture, I want to do it because I want to let him know that I embrace your culture, and I don't want you to ever feel like you got to stop being who you are. So I'm ready. I am ready for the kufis, the hats, the bowing. I'm ready for all of that. You understand? He's like, baby, no.
And,
What did you do that for? He's like, what are you doing that for?
and to
What
walk
you
on
want?
5 paces behind him too, huh?
I want to walk 5 paces because he's the king. I want to do it. He's like, man, what are you doing? Get back. What's wrong with you? He said, oh my God. He said, not the daddy, man.
Then he ended upon raising
Yes,
his
the
voice, you're
daddy,
gonna give me your
yes.
feelings again, huh? Get back up
Meanwhile,
here.
they are calling their man daddy in bed. I call him daddy all the time. I don't stop calling him daddy. And when he do this, when he refer to himself in third person, Nile, it drives me crazy. It drives me wild. You hear me? If he texts me, he be like, did you miss daddy? I'm like, oh my God. I don't know what it do. It do something to me.
Mm-mm-mm.
It do something to me. He be like, did you miss daddy? I'm being serious. He texts me, he be like, did you miss daddy? Or we know who. Meanwhile, they calling their man daddy in bed. See, I know how to be submissive and loving to my man and cater to my man. I do. It's just a balance. Now, I will tell you the issue that I am dealing with. SBK. Don't be looking like that, SBK. Why are you looking like that?
Because I know you full of shit. That's why.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Why you say? Okay, so why do you say that? Why do you say that?
You said, hey, you sit up here talking about, yeah, I want to be submissive to my husband. I want to be
I
part of
do.
his culture and all the stuff they're knowing. Good and damn well, deep down inside, all it takes is one moment for they do to step out of line and forget all that culture. Because you just
No,
said it
no,
earlier.
no,
The dude that
no,
simply
no.
told you to go to the room and you threw a full hissy fit.
Yeah, I
Threw
did.
a whole hissy
I did.
fit. And you
I
want to be part
did.
of
But
his
that doesn't
culture?
mean no. He said go, and why don't you go do whatever you used to do? And I did. But that was playful. You know what I'm saying? That was just husband and wife stuff. When it comes down to respecting that man and who he is and his culture, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
Yeah, I
I'm
could.
not here to change him.
Yeah, even though I kind of mess with you a little bit, I could tell that you love your husband a lot, man.
I love
Um,
that man.
yeah, I can tell you do. I
I
tell you do.
admonish every black woman to go out of the country and get your man because the
Not
men here are what? No, I'm just playing.
not her telling women to be passport sisters. Damn. You know
You
good
know
and well
what?
your
I'm not going
sisterhood is
to
not
my
going to
man.
agree to that. They gonna say, heck no, I ain't doing that.
Oh wow, I'm just joking, SBK. I don't want you to lose
No,
faith in
she's
me. I'm
not.
just
No, she's
joking.
not. She dead
Yes,
serious on
I
that
am.
too. She
Let me
dead
tell you
serious.
something. I'm gonna say this, and I don't feel bad saying it. I've had one other relationship that I thought was simply phenomenal instead of American man that respected me as a woman. Was not disrespectful. It's just that we didn't work out. But all the other ones was crap. You understand what I'm saying? They just inherently lied and cheated and was disrespectful and did not consider me as the other voice in the relationship. I didn't get it. It's so refreshing to have a man that is nurturing and loving. It's so refreshing. Maybe it's just for me and not for nobody else, but my experience with foreign men has been phenomenal. She said it with her chest, with my chest.
Hey, on the cool though, I support people traveling abroad just to expand your horizons to find that special someone. I find nothing wrong with that. But however, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then that's when I say something about it. You're trying to travel abroad because you had a bad experience in your said country. You thinking by going to another country, you're gonna have a better experience. The,
No, no,
that's a
I
you
stumbled up
problem,
on
not.
this. Let me tell you something. God set me up on this for real, for real. I ain't lying. I stumbled up on this. Do you hear me? I stumbled, and this is so. And anybody that know me know that this is so out of the box for me. It scared me. I was scared for the first 6 months. I was like scared of who I was becoming and what was happening, how I was feeling. And I, how people say that, and you be like, oh, they just talking. That stuff ain't real. I literally was scared. I felt like I was on a roller coaster and couldn't get off because my heart and my emotions took off before my mental. And I'm telling you, no, come back. Get off the rag, come back. And my heart was like, oh, we gone. Pew. And I fell in love with this man for real, for real. And it scared the heck out of me because as you can see, I'm a person of control. Like I want to be control of everything. You know what I'm saying? What's going on around me? But I
You
couldn't.
right about that.
Oh, you ain't got to agree so quickly,
I'm just stating the
Urban.
obvious.
Queen, you are Riri. Ray. Riri. Who's Ray? Scorpio be saying stuff and I don't be knowing what she be saying sometimes. What is this? I'm Riri. Riri? Who is it?
I don't know. I don't know, Queen.
You Scorpio be saying some stuff, boy, I tell you. But my heart ran off. It left my mind here. And it was like, we gone. Pew, are you coming with us? And he's such a wise man before his years. He really is. He really is. But guys, listen. What do you think? So, Arvin, what do you think about black men and mental illness? Do you think it's a real thing?
Of course it is. Yeah, mental illness is a real thing. On the cool though, a lot of men do suffer from some form of mental illness. You know what I'm saying? And it stems from their traumatic experience, either through their upbringing or through their adult life, and they just dealt with some type of traumatic thing to happen to them, and it would trigger that, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Well,
it's a real thing. It's something definitely that it needs to be talked about more, especially in the black community, especially among men, because we see that as a form of weakness. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
We see it as a form of weakness to remotely even acknowledge that we got some type of mental trauma that's going on with us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, you know what really frightens me is when I see my black little kids, little boys that may come through my classroom from some time to time, and I see that explosive, violent behavior
Hmm.
just over the littlest thing, and it gets real violent. That scares me because that's to me is a learned behavior, or it's just a result of what's going on in their home. And I always say to myself, if they don't get a hold to this, if they don't get this baby no help, he's gonna grow up and it's gonna be an issue. And I've seen it younger and younger, and it's getting younger, even to the point of infants. I have seen infants have temper issues, and you would think, "Come on, Queen, you reaching?" I'm not reaching. Violent behavior. And I'm saying to myself, what's happening? Now I know the Bible says that children gonna be more wickeder and wiser, but I'm like, I never thought I'd see today this explosiveness just over a toy, and they grabbing the girl by the hair and yanking them down, and I'm constantly have to tell, listen, boys don't hit girls, but they can't control it in the heat of the moment. They cannot. This 4-year-old cannot control it,
Hmm.
and they're taking they targeting the girls in the room. It is just
Hmm.
it's so sad to me. It is so sad because it's like you too young for this already. And then what are we going to do? What are strategies are we going to put? So when I see stuff like that in my classroom, I immediately have a meeting with the parents, and I don't go in talking about, oh, it's a behavior issue, they bad. I never say that. I say, hey, we need to sit down and create a plan of action to redirect this energy that I'm seeing in the classroom. And then I immediately try to put in new verbiage. Let's problem solve. Steps to problem solve. And this is for preschoolers, which can apply to adults. The first thing you need to do is think about what you're getting ready to do next in your anger. And I know that's going to take a lot of discipline when you're in that rage and anger. You know what I'm saying? The second thing you need to do is to figure out, how can I fix this problem? And then take that solution to the problem and try to resolve it. That takes a lot of strategy for a little kid. You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes
True.
it's hard for an adult to do that as well.
True.
It's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, I mean, for a young boy toddler doing that to a girl toddler, that's automatically something that he mimic in this household that's happening right now. That type of
Mhm.
behavior, and he deem it as susceptible, and so he go out into the real world, do the same as that thing, and so um, you do a corrective action plan, right? Um, it don't be successful because it's the parents, you know what I'm saying? It's ultimately the parents who have this environment. That's when teachers have to investigate, and that's the they be calling child protective services and all this other stuff that they do. You know what I mean?
Lionel said some problems require you taking a child away from the parent. Absolutely.
I agree.
Because they like
Absolutely.
third generation. They are like third generations in of not knowing how to problem resolute. And it's just right now, it's just like a mimic behavior.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah,
a
part of
whole
the
family
environment.
is in poverty and on welfare and food stamps, and they groom their kids to go get on welfare and disability, like 3 generations. So ain't nobody from the great grandmama to the granddaughter, the great grand is trying to get an education. Nor are you guys telling them that they need to get an education. All you doing is showing them what you know. That's why knowledge is power. I'm only going to show my child what I know, and all I know is to go and get help from the government. And don't y'all come for me. I'm not If people need it, you need it. Heck, I have been on food stamps. You understand what I'm saying? And needed assistance. I'm not knocking it at all. But in some point in your life, do you understand that it is just assistance and not a way of life?
Mm-hmm.
And then you take that and give that to your child and your child and it's like, come on, that mimicking and that behavior. So, and then you got 3 generations of people who are not bringing in no type of prosperity or generational wealth or any, it's just a sad commentary. You said I would
Mm-hmm.
try to respect the fam. Uh-oh. Just because you know better don't mean you will do better. Absolutely, because there's a lot of black folks out here,
Yep.
black men know to do better, but they refuse. They don't want to do better. You are absolutely right. I don't like island man folk. I know you expressed that before, Scorpion, that you don't. It says you just said 3 generations. That means it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, Lionel. The whole everybody,
Yeah,
everybody.
I have cousins right now. They're like 3 or 4 generations down, and they do the same exact thing on government assistance because it became a way of life to them.
Mm-hmm. It became a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I almost want to say ashamed of is my mother passed away. My mother was a very she was just so intelligent, so smart. However, she did suffer from mental illness, but she provided for me. I didn't want. She pushed me. You know what I'm saying? She was always just reading tons and tons of books. Always saw her reading, just writing. She was a teacher. Also, she was a minister as well. I was going through her things, and I found that she had a degree. Didn't know it. She never spoke of it. She never boasted about it. She had a degree, and I literally almost wanted to break in tears that my mother had this accomplishment and I didn't know it, and it just pushed me to want to finish and obtain as many degrees as I can. That's why I'm currently in school now. When I saw that, it just added to how I looked at my mother. Even though she had some form of mental illness, she was so in touch with her community. She gave back to her community. People on the city council board knew who she was. You know what I'm saying? She was so articulate. She was always reading or writing or creating something for her immediate environment, helping people. You know what I'm saying? She worked on her platform and she did the best that she could within her means to help others. And so that was the example that I saw. I didn't see the mental illness because she did not allow that to stop her or stifle her, you know? So when I saw that
Mm-hmm.
degree, I was like, wow.
I, I I I believe that you missed the message that God was showing you for your mom having that degree
Mm-hmm.
because you said that she had it the whole time, but nobody knew about it. The reason why is because she didn't want that piece of paper to define who she is. She wanted to write her own chapter in her own life without that piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she
Mm-hmm.
did. She did everything, without being boastful about that degree or that piece of paper. She did everything she could accomplish in her lifetime. And I believe that's the overall message that she's trying to lead to not only you, but to, other generations as well, too. They, even though it's cool to get it, but it doesn't mean that it's this huge accomplishment to get it. You know what I'm saying? When it's actually your lifestyle, it's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
accomplishment of it all. What you choose to do.
Absolutely. I'm gonna agree with you this one time, okay?
I know you do. I know you do. Go ahead. Appreciate it.
Lionel said that they just came out with stats. Black women with multiple degrees across the board are the most educated around, are being outlearned by men who don't have one significantly. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know where that came from, Lionel.
Yeah, so
I would
it's
like to
through
know where
the. I tell you where it came from. Pew Research Center. Because it's on
okay.
actual fact. So basically, what Lionel's saying is that men who don't have a degree and they basically are considered as blue collar, white collar workers, right? Or they went and got a trade, right?
Mhm.
They outnumber the women who actually sit up here spending all this money getting the degrees. You know what I'm saying?
As far as what they outnumber them in what?
For us, the workforce.
Well, yeah, because you already know that when men historically get paid more, they get offered the jobs more than women.
I know
Yeah,
good and well. I know good and well.
I just
You
said
just
that.
said,
I
mm-mm.
said that they make more than us historically down the line, and there's tons of research to back that up.
No,
Yeah, it
queen.
is. Yes, it is. And I know that you saw my community post. I know you saw it.
That
I took
community
it
post
all in.
that
Wait, I
community
took it
post
all in.
was false. Me and
Go
Lionel
away.
had debunked
Go
that.
away. I don't
We
care what you and
debunked
Lionel did.
that post.
Let me find it, Lord Jesus. Let me find it
We
because
debunked that post.
I saved it just in case you came up here again. I
And,
saved it. Oh,
and then on top of that, you speaking about the gender gap, the gender wage gap. There's no such thing as a gender wage gap anymore in this
it
generation. It was in the
is.
past before equality and the civil rights movement and different things like that. But that
Oh,
wage
thank
gap
you,
no
Jesus.
longer exists.
I found it.
Everybody is
I
making an
still have
equal
it.
share of
Thank you,
wage.
God.
Wage.
Said,
Everybody
that degree
making an equal
I have
share
going
of
on.
wage based on their skills and ability. Everyone.
Okay, just listen to this, because that's not what we were debating. That's not what we were debating about. During the 1980s, what I was talking about in the 1980s, what happened to our black men? Remember we were talking about that during the
Yeah,
1980s.
unfortunately. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, the percentage of black men in jail significant. Don't I can't put my blend my vowels my consonants together. Hold on, wait. Black men in jail significantly increased. We can just stop there. We can just stop there because that proves what I was talking about. But I still carry on. Okay,
Go
increase
ahead.
with estimates showing that by the end of the decade, around 50% of all state and federal prisoners were black men. This represented a substantial rise from the percentage seen in the early 1980s, which were closer to 46% towards the end of that decade. I did say 60%. However, I was close to it. You guys said that I was overreaching. You said 20%. It's right here. Look.
Did you read what we said under that post?
No, I did not actually. No, I didn't. I read a little bit and I was like, no, they don't know what they're talking about.
So you
Okay.
literally stood up here being disingenuous with your argument right off the
What
bat.
did you say?
Just like a woman. I'm not supposed to
You said
repeat
you
what we
lost
said
that
on
argument
that
about
post
prison and
because it's
sex.
there for you to read it.
She okay, he just said
I'm
you
being
lost that
so
argument.
at it. Boy, see, where your husband at? But
Sleep. Because it's like what?
buddy
It's
need
probably
to
like 3 o'clock in the morning over there.
be free.
It said, and look at your comment under that post. I will go back and look. It says, I know one thing, he better treat you right. Yes, Lord, he is. I told him, I said, he probably gonna have to be a little bit more. I shouldn't even say this out loud, but anyway. I think if to deal with American men, and I don't care what y'all say about me, I feel like he gonna have to be a little bit more harder because y'all will probably try to skin him alive. Either y'all try to indoctrinate him or y'all gonna try to skin him alive. We can't let you off the hook until you look at the comments. Okay, let me go look at the comments. Lord have mercy. Let me go look at
That'd be nice.
Let me go look at the comments. Let's see.
Go ahead, take your time while I eat my chocolate pie.
What did you eat? What did
Chocolate
you
pie.
eat?
Chocolate
Oh,
pie.
okay. Oh, I love me some chocolate pie. You old school. I love me some
Mm.
chocolate pie. I do. Okay, let's see. So let's look at the comments. I was close. I know that's right. Not correct. Urban T. Urban gave me a thumbs down. Okay, not
Read what
correct
Lionel
at
said.
all.
Read what Lionel said.
It says, wait, you are simple to look at it up and see that this is 100% accurate. Don't be mad at facts, just be better. Oh, these people. Okay, let me see. Lionel, what did you say? Hold on. I'm just trying to see. Oh, I see. My the newest. Okay. Beefcake, Queen of Queen, two replies, three replies. How come I can't see what Lionel said? Hold on, wait. I see it. No, that's Sugarverse. No, you weren't. You were reading this wrong. They are trying to tell you that 50% of prisoners were black. You need
Mm-hmm.
to you need the stats of actual prisoners, which was 1.3 million or less
Mm-hmm.
in total. That's not even close of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Women need to be right, but always proven wrong.
Mm-hmm. Because what
hmm
Lionel said, I was going to say the same as that thing, but he beat me to it.
hmm Okay. Well, you know what? This is a democracy, even though sometimes it don't feel like it. And you guys can say what you want to.
Queen,
But
all
I
we want
said
to
what I said and I read what I read. Okay?
Queen, all we want to hear is this. We just want to
What?
hear you say these words. Urban and Lionel, you are correct. I am wrong. I
That's
had
never happened.
presented the wrong stats. Let me go and research it. That's all we want to hear.
I did not have the wrong sex. I'm not going to say it. We can't let you. Oh, God. I said it already.
And this is the reason why I believe that you will not walk 5 paces behind your husband. This is the reason why I know you
I
ain't gonna do
will
it.
walk 5 paces. If he said, babe, please. If he said, babe, we're in the area, we're in the region where you have to walk 5 paces, please. Let me tell you something. I'm going to walk 10 paces behind him and be happy to do it. I want him to say, I want to do all that traditional stuff. I did a lot of research. You're supposed to bow when you come in the room. The airport lady made me bow in front of him when I was putting my luggage on the thing. She said, oh, won't you bow to your
As
husband
you
now?
should.
Look, she was like, oh, won't you bow to your husband now? I said, sure. And I bowed to him and he started laughing, you know, we said, and I'm into it. You think I'm not, but I am into it. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
Just like he got this thing when Nigerian man say, please leave it. I'm not supposed to bring it up. Now, the first time I got it wrong, I brought it up again. I did. I told him over here in America, we rationalize our thoughts until we get down to the matter of it. But when he say, let's leave it, I'm supposed to not bring it up again. I didn't know. But ever since then, when he say, just leave it, I don't bring it up again. Even though it be burning me and killing me on the inside, I suck it all in. And
Hold
I
on,
don't say it.
who rushing our thoughts? Y'all do. Y'all want modern American women do that.
You mean to tell me you're not gonna speak your ideals? You're not gonna not try to advocate for yourself?
If it's logical and it makes sense, then we're gonna do it. We're not gonna
You said
question, we're just
most
gonna do
women
it.
think they are sweet. I am sweet. You don't think I'm sweet? Most women are the bride of Chucky. I am not the bride of
we
Chucky.
Yeah, like I was saying, if it's logical to us and it makes sense and we know it's part of the culture, we're not gonna question, we're gonna do it. That's some American women that do that. They have to rational something because deep down inside they don't want to do it anyway. They want to use
See,
every
I
excuse
don't like how
to
you
not do
interpret
it, to
it.
be hard headed.
You know what you do? You speak as though it's matter of fact. Well, you should just say, in my opinion. You need to start everything that you say and say, in my opinion,
How you
because it's not
tone
true.
policing me? We just
It's
talked
not
about this
true.
a
You
few minutes
speaking
ago
as
about
if
tone
that's how women
policing.
are.
I'm not changing my tone for you. I said what I said. Just like you're not going to change your tone with me, and I don't expect
Never,
you to. I don't expect you to.
never, ever. But I had to explain to him that's how I am. I want to have a conversation and dialogue when we having these debates or conversations and stuff. I don't want to just leave it. I mean, like, because it'd be so many things that's left unsaid. Like, I need to talk about it. until we get it together. It says
Mm-hmm.
Lionel, it's Lionel said, you how are you going to tell him how to operate? That's the problem today. Women trying to tell men how to be men. I ain't trying to tell this man how to be man. I know for a fact that he will never change. He is who he is, and he happy in who he is.
The
I
the
have
question
a if somebody say I give you $1,000,000 to change Urban, I know I will be broke. Okay.
the question you should be asking yourself is, why would you consider that I would change?
I
Why
don't
is that
want you to
even
change.
in your
I
mind?
don't want you to change. Lionel said that. I didn't say that. Nor did I agree. I don't want you to change. I want you to be who you want to be.
Lionel didn't say nothing about changing. You did.
He just said that. He said, how are you going to tell him how to operate? That's the problem today. Women trying to tell men how to be men. I'm not trying to tell you how to be at all. I want you to be your authentic self.
Well, I appreciate that, Queen. I
Yeah. I want
appreciate
you to
you
do
allowing me to be
you.
myself, to
I
be
want you
me.
to be yourself because it makes the conversation and the dialogue interesting.
Mm,
You
appreciate
just
that.
tried. You just tried to tone police him.
Didn't
So
she
that was
though?
a thing. I did not even know that was a thing. What do you mean? What is Hey Sweet Read? I said I'm
Didn't she
belong your
though?
way. What is tone police? Enlighten me.
Tone policing is when we're trying to tell somebody how to say something your way, so it won't sound rude to you.
Oh,
But it never came off as being like rude or anything like that. It was just being direct.
oh, like reverse psychology, like
What?
that.
No. Where you get
Oh, what
reverse
are you
psychology
saying?
from?
What? Okay,
Oh,
what are you
now
saying?
Style Paston changed her picture. She wearing makeup and everything.
What? These women are always what is that? Strange forgetfulness. Okay, I'm having a dumb moment. What is that? How you pronounce
Oh,
this?
feeds forgetfulness.
Fiends, fiends forgetfulness. I'm having a listen, whatever it is, and I feel bad that I'm an educator, but whatever. It's after hours.
Now,
Okay.
show Sweet Rita picture again. Just show a picture again. Let's throw up any comment up there.
Oh, Sweet
So I see
Rita,
a picture. Yeah.
Sweet Rita. That's my
Look
girl.
at Sweet Rita. She sit up here
She looks
smiling,
beautiful.
gone a little eyeshadow and stuff. Sure, got her hair there, got some loop earrings in and everything. Look at her, look at her. She must got her little boo over there now and kind of dressed up a little bit.
She
You
look
got to a
good.
boo, Sweet Rita.
Oh, you know what? You are the second woman that has said that to me. She said, Queen, are they over here ganging up on you? Y'all must have a reputation on these YouTube streets ganging up on women. But Sweet Rita, you know I'm the queen, baby. I can take it all by myself. You know that, right? You know
I
I can't.
don't.
No, they're not ganging up on me.
You want to know what? That's very rich coming from Sweet Rita because all the time her, Constance, Bougie Bar, Annette, and all the rest of the women come on to my platform all the time and gang up on me. And I don't say nothing. I don't be no victim. I don't say, oh my gosh, they're ganging up on me. I don't do none of that.
Lionel says she looks like a woman that goes after thugs and drug dealers. Lionel, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Urban. SBK is laughing at you. He said that's what Urban and Lionel do. They get together. They gang up on people, Sweet Rita. Well, they ain't ganging up on me, honey. Ah,
Mm-mm-mm.
don't you laugh at him, SBK. You don't be saying that about Sweet Rita. She know. All I know is good things about her. I ain't seen her not one time with a drug dealer. Now, I myself have dated a couple of drug dealers in my younger years. I have.
Why?
I
Why?
myself used to hold raw. I used to hold
Why?
raw
Why?
because growing up, that's the only glamorous thing that I saw in my neighborhood was drug dealers, and I thought it was a form of protection. And I thought it would be so. I wanted to live on the edge.
So
I
you
wanted
never
to live on
seen.
the edge.
Oh, hold on. So you
This
never
is I'm talking
seen
about this. I
guys
was
like
a
me in
teenager.
the
I was a
neighborhood.
teenager when I was doing this.
So you never seen guys like me in the neighborhood. All you seen was those drug dealers in your neighborhood.
No, and I ain't even gaslighting you,
Over
Urban.
thousands
Where
of
I
people in your
grew up,
neighborhood. You seen them but drug dealers,
I
and
promise you.
that's it.
That had bread and that drove the nicest car. Remember we used to wear those name chain belts and the ropes and stuff. Drug dealers. Or the preachers. That was it. Preachers and drug dealers. And my brother was a major drug dealer. You understand what I'm saying? And I just thought that was so cool. And we was in high school and and he would be riding the car knowing it was no stolen, but I was riding that car. Yeah, I'm being transparent. I haven't always been this. You understand what I'm saying? I did that. I did
And
it.
and you wonder why. You wonder why the guys like me and Lionel and SBK we say what we say. See, y'all sit up here going trick around with all them drug dealers and them pookies and stuff, right? Because oh my God, they look good, they look great. Then
I
when you
was
get done with
literally
them, then
16,
you try to make us
17
be
years
your sloppy
old.
seconds.
I was literally 16, 17 years old, Irvin. I was a kid. I was a
Mm-mm-mm.
kid. Let me tell you
So
how
so when
good God is, though. Let me tell you how
so
good
so
God is.
so, so when did you officially stop dating them drug dealers? At what age?
6, 7, 16.
18, 21.
Oh, no, 16. 16. 16.
So you were just dating them only when you were 16 years old, or trying to talk to them
16.
when you were 16 years old.
I was dating them. I was dating them. Like, one of the guys sold drugs for my brother. I was dating him. You know what I'm saying? And I was just into that. I was in the lifestyle, like, for one, my mother raised me in church. So anytime I can get out and do something wild and crazy, I did it because I was so
So you
sheltered.
being hard headed too.
I was being hard headed, whorish, all of that. I was doing it all. You understand? I tried, I wanted to be with the cool kids. I wanted to be out there doing crazy stuff. But let me tell you what kind of jarred me. No excuses. You said young girls don't know better. I didn't know better, sweet meat. I didn't. But women mature faster than men. What scared me was I was holding for one of the drug dealers, and I had decided I wanted to go shopping, and I had put the crack in like my mother's you know how they had those China stands, China cabinets. Put it in the person. I
Hmm.
put it in there, and I went go shopping, doing my thing, girl. Me and my friend, we just did it. Come home, they were sitting in my house at my living room table. And they were like, "Where's my blankety blank?" And it got real for me real fast because they thought that I had took off with it. I was so scared. I was so scared. And so I gave him his stuff. And then his mother, who she was out hoeing, she pulled me to the side of the house, on the side of the house. She said, "You know what? You did so good. You did really good." She was like, "Next week, we're going to start you off holding raw." I was like, "Oh," didn't know what it was. "Oh, okay." My mother was like, packing stuff up. We are moving. We moved out of the neighborhood before I can get right, really, really, say into it. We moved out. And I was like, that changed my life because I could have been out there. You know what I'm saying? Just being dumb, doing some of the most stupidest stuff,
I
seeing it
agree.
all. Queen, you don't laugh at me, sweet Rita.
I agree. I agree. So when did you start going out and dating squirrels?
What?
When did you start going out dating squirrels? Well, dating them non drug dealers, the non thugs. When would you start dating them?
Um, like when I turned 18, 19. Not kind of when I was getting out of high school, my perspective changed. I was like, I accepted my calling when I was 18. So I started getting into the ministry, and then I started making attempts to be in the church and hold true to the tenets. Did a horrible job of that. I'm very transparent. Did a horrible job of that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And decided that that's not what I wanted to do. Then I started becoming a little bit more educated and just seeing life a little bit differently, and realized that that wasn't the path, that's not glamorous at all. You know, that's not glamorous at all. My brother had got arrested, went to jail for murder. You know, so I didn't have that male thing in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided that's not the vein that I wanted to go in.
Mm-hmm.
But I still had them on speed dial in case something went down. Like, hey, I need you to show up. They trying to. I need you to go get them. You understand what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah,
Wow.
I did. I ain't gonna lie. Well, let me tell you something. And I have said this publicly before, because that mentality was still there. You understand what I'm saying? That hood mentality. I'm from Detroit. I'm from the end. You come over here, blah blah blah. This was going on. Listen, that's just how I was. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Whether it's right or wrong, that's what I was. You
That
know,
that 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 means that you never change.
that means I
Because if
had
you
never
truly
changed.
changed, then
You
you
understand?
had did everything
I agree
possible
with you. I
to get
agree
rid of
with
all that.
you. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none for me. Something went down in my household where it got physical. I pick up the phone. You need to come get him now. And they had already told him, you know, not to put your hands on her. They spoke to him. He didn't. I called. They were on their way. You understand what I'm saying? But the
Mm-hmm.
evangelist called, Minister so and so. You know that ain't the will of the Lord. You don't need to be doing that. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So I have had a lot of trial runs in my life. I have. I'm not perfect. This is why I can sit where I'm at and be bona fide and say, hey, yeah, I have been through this too. I have been
Mm-hmm.
this way too. My thinking, I've had low thinking before too. Let's
Yeah.
come up in our thinking. You know, I can identify. I'm
Yeah.
not, you know, I ain't know nothing. You know, I'm not trying to be nothing. I'm not. I know what it is. You said ain't nothing wrong with speed dial. Sweet Rita, I had to make that call. You said that part. Don't nobody call the police. No, we're not calling the police. We calling somebody else. You know, you said, you know, but I know that's not the right thing to do no more. But don't push me. Okay? No, just play it.
So you mentioned that after all that you decided to want to go into the ministry because you had a calling. How
Mhm.
did it look like? The calling. What
How did it look
what
like?
was that revelation?
I'm gonna tell
What
you what
what
happened to
revelation
me.
you received?
I knew I was called at 16, but I didn't accept it to 18 because I understood at some level, not the totality of it, but I understood what it was to be a minister in that mantle and that responsibility. The Bible says you, and I know you know this, to whom much is given, much is required. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
to carry that weight and to walk in a certain way, not because of what society may think of you, but because you hold true to the Bible and the teaching. Now, this ain't for everybody. This is something that this is your thing. This is what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? And so when
Mm-hmm.
you understand and realize that, you know, you have to work with, and I wasn't ready to do that. So I was in my house in my living room and I walked in the bathroom and I literally heard, and I know a lot of people say you ain't heard that. I literally heard the voice of the Lord speak so softly to me. I call you to the ministry. And I act like I ain't hear it for 2 years until my pastor preached one day. My associate pastor, he preached consequences to not accepting the Lord's directive.
Hmm.
And I just like, you know, oh, maybe, you know, something I need to be, but I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? And even when I started preaching, because I was a young preacher at 18, I still fell on my face tremendously. You know, 18, didn't really know. So it was I had a learning, I had a very long learning period, extremely long. And then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the Lord would straight up beat the brakes off of me. One time the Lord tried to take me out. No lie, He tried to snuff me out. So you gonna, and this is for people who know what I'm talking about, that live this lifestyle. They say for everybody, and I'm not trying to impose my belief on anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something about you bending to the Lord calls. You gonna do it one way or the other. And people who know, they know. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes God will put you on the road to Damascus, and it's up to you what you want to do now. And it's been a time where I bucked my head, and the Lord said, "Okay, now I can take you out, or you can go ahead and submit." And I'm like,
So,
okay,
so
I get
you
it.
so you believe that God gave you that
I
ultimatum
see
for real, like
Lionel.
either you're gonna do what I want you to do, or I'm in your life.
I do believe that God gives us free choice and we can choose what we want, whether we want to serve him or not. God not gonna hammer you down. But for me, I felt the pressure. I felt the weight of the mantle. I understood that God was trying to get my attention. Maybe I should have said that. He most definitely was trying to get my attention.
Mm, mhm.
Because I was
Gotcha.
dabbling in some stuff that I had no business dabbling in.
Wait a minute, like what? You still doing some weird stuff
I'm
after
keeping
the?
that to myself. I'm keeping that to myself, Urban.
Okay, fair enough.
Lionel
Fair
said,
enough.
if you're 3 years old, okay, I'm listening to you, Lionel. You said if you're 3 years old and abused, you're going to be broken. You said you can cope, but healing isn't something realistic to do, especially if you're abused multiple times. Healing is most definitely a realistic thing, Lionel. Healing is most definitely a realistic thing. Now, how you go about to get that healing, it could be a journey. It could be, a bumpy road. It could be years of getting there. And then sometimes healing doesn't look like people think healing should look like. You're supposed to be happy, whole. Healing could be just you getting through the day, a day at a time. I can't determine what healing looks like for you, but it's most definitely realistic. It says when you break a glass and you put it back together again, it's still broken, but it's also still a cup. A lot of men, and that's a great analogy. Um, um, Lionel. A lot of men are stigmatized with being broken, and all they can, and they are all told is to go get help. What is it? That is a great analogy. Yes, you still see those cracks in that glass, but somehow you're able to glue them back together so it can still function and be used as a cup or glass. I get that. I get that. But you're
Hmm.
still able to function. That's why sometimes from time to time, even if nothing is wrong, or you know what I'm saying. I always send out the text to some of my brothers or my men, my husband or whatever. I always want to let them, hey baby, you a man. He don't need me to tell him he knows he's a man. When he go use the bathroom, he knows he's a man. But I'm just saying, I always say you a man and you're valuable. Maybe he having an unsuccessful day, or maybe he felt like he missed the mark that day. Maybe you still a man, and I see you as a man. You are so valuable to me, and I don't want you to. I want you to understand that you are still valuable, and you are still a man. Sometimes people need to hear that, and it goes for women too. Sometimes when you go through life, you have blunders or you have misfortunes. Sometimes it make you feel less than. I'm not a man. I'm not taking care of my family. I'm not a man. You know.
Hmm.
But like you said, you put those things back together, and you still become a glass. You still function. That's really good.
You you remember the scripture in prophet Jeremiah, when the prophet Jeremiah referenced something similar to this. The prophet Jeremiah was saying that God take a cup or a vessel, right, and it was chipped or marred, right,
Hmm.
and so even though it was chipped or marred, that doesn't mean it can't be used. It still could be used, but it could it can be repaired. You know what I'm
It
saying?
can be
And so
repaired.
that's the same analogy that Lionel is saying right now, that even though that it's chipped or broken, you know what I'm saying, it's still broken, it's evident, and people are gonna let you know that you're still broken. But in
Hmm.
reality, you know what I'm saying, even though that you broke it, it still could be used to, its purpose,
Hmm.
if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. To whatever
Whether you
purpose
chip
it
or
is.
broken, you still function as a cup, and you a cup just like all the other cups.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's really really good. And a lot of black men need to know that and realize that in their life because they don't realize that. They just see the cracks in the chip and then I'm broken. But you still
Mm-hmm.
holding your weight. Oh, I feel the presence of God. You are still holding your weight. You're still holding. You're still able to hold and contain because you still a cup. That's powerful. That is, and a lot of men need to know that and understand that. A lot, and they don't know that. Even our young men today, they don't know that. For some reason or another, something has cracked their masculinity, or what they think, what they think is a man, or the symbols in their life that tells them or dictates to them that they're a man, and they think something is wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with them. You just got a little chip here and there, but you still holding it together. You still a man.
So,
You
so
know.
what happens that these old crazy ass woman, the one who chipped the cup, because they wanted the cup to be the way that they
Why is
wanted
it
to
a
be.
woman?
Let's
Why
keep
can't
it.
it be
Let's
something that
keep it
it's not a
real.
woman?
Let's
Oh
keep
my
it
God.
real, man. This cup was doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and all of a sudden, this woman cracked the cup and said, "I want the cup to look this way."
You know what? It's not men. First of all, society do a lot of harm to black men more than black women do.
Bullshit.
You out your man. You was out your man. You out your man, Urban. You out your man. Society dictates to black men. Y'all absorb because y'all visual. Y'all absorb everything. And then y'all want us to be like what y'all see.
Look, we
And when we
literally
not
take
like
on.
what y'all see, there's something wrong with us.
Look, we literally take on the world every single day. The moment when we wake up, the moment we
And
go
you
out, we're
think that
taking
we
on the
don't? You
world.
think
And
I don't?
you want to know our biggest struggle? It's not the world, because we know what to expect with the world. It is the women who we're with. Kid you not.
You
It's the
are out
women
your
who
man.
we with.
Women think
That
that.
determines it.
First of all, it
If
ain't me.
if she's a
Whoever
good
these
woman,
women
then
are,
it's great.
whoever these women are, they most definitely ain't me. Because when my husband, when I'm talking to my husband, God, I can't wait till we under, like on the same time zone. But whenever, honey, I'm bringing him in, I'm wiping his wounds off. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding him. I'm wrapping him up in the cuddle thing, in the what you call that thing, the onesie thing, and I'm holding him close to my breast and I'm rocking him. You okay, baby? Because I know the world will beat you up today. That's how I am.
So you just gonna emasculate that man and make him become a child?
I'm not emasculating him. I'm giving him what he needs. I'm licking those wounds for him.
Did you ask him what he need before you decided to wrap him up like a child?
No, I did not. And he has not complained. I'm a nurturer.
Your buddy need to hurry up and come to the States so he can
No.
come over to now
And
so
I'm
we can
most definitely gonna keep him away from you.
we need to
I'm
get him
gonna
out of
be,
this beta mode.
I'm gonna be like, don't you even go near Urban. Don't you go near anything that starts with the letter U. Don't you do it.
We need to get him out of this beta
Hey,
mode.
I'm good on you too. Stop laughing at everything he say. I'm watching you. Take the content away from you and just look outside and see what large amount of men are seeing. What do you think women don't have the same pair of eyes that you have? We can also see what's going on.
Queen, you just stated earlier that y'all choose to see what y'all want to see.
I never said that. I don't know where you got that
You
from.
did, you did. Earlier
I don't know what you're talking about.
earlier when you was having that conversation about you getting your little inner pores all wet and stuff over these thug dudes. And I asked you, like, them the only type of people you
I
see
was
that's them
16
thug dudes?
years
And you
old.
said, yeah.
I was
So that means
16.
that y'all choose to see what you want to see instead of
I was
seeing
a
the truth.
kid. At that age, yeah. I'm a grown woman now. Lionel said a lot of women fail to understand why the red pill grew so fast and why. I could care less about the red pill. Thank you.
So I'm at least shocked you even know anything about the red pill.
Really? Really?
Yeah, because
Isn't that
a
something?
lot of women don't even know nothing about the red pill. They only know about
Oh
Kevin
yeah, you
Samuels.
know
That's
what?
it. Or Tommy Sotomayor.
There was a podcast. Oh, there was a podcast. I think they did the. Was you affiliated with that?
Well, what?
With Yada,
Well, Yada.
red pill versus blue pill.
Oh, you talking about Yada did that debate with Anton Daniels? Then he did another debate
Yes. Now
with
surprisingly, now surprisingly,
No Forgive podcast.
now surprisingly, I was Team Yada.
I figured
I
a lot of
felt like
women
he
were.
ate that boy up.
A
He
lot of
ate that
women was
boy up.
pinata, not
Yeah,
understanding
but you know what?
that dude.
In that moment, listen to me. In that moment, I was Team Yada. But most of his stuff that he do, I hope these people don't try to get me. But most of the people's stuff, I say is unrealistic because I feel like he compensates a lot for something.
He do.
I feel like that. But then
He
that
do.
moment,
All, all,
I feel like
all
he
y'all
ate
are
that boy
is
up.
another Daryl Jackson that y'all love so much.
No, I don't like Daryl Jackson because he's a weirdo. He needs to be accountable for his actions, and he needs to set up and learn how to be a husband before you come tell somebody how to be a man. You
So
need to
now,
figure out how to be
not your sisterhood. Your sisterhood still love him still to this day. They
That's not
said
my
that his
sisterhood.
wife was the problem.
This is a long
Remember that?
time trouble.
They said
Why?
his wife was the
You know
problem.
what? You know what? You must got a bad reputation. Everybody come in here, they be like, Mr. Long start trouble again. Oh, we got
I
hey,
don't
Bob.
got no bad reputation. I just be chilling, man. I be chilling.
Mm,
But now
yeah.
every time when I pull up and people see me either in the chat or I come up here on the panel, they're like, "Oh Lord, here come Urban."
Nah, I love for him. It's been all good for me. It's been all good. I feel like that young man. Oh God! And then there was a scandal that came out about him. That's another. And I'm just gonna call it how I see it. There is something mentally going on with him. He is overcompensating for something.
He
He
is.
is. He is because it's just like you doing all this projecting of what you feel that a man should be. And my thing is this: are you implementing that in your own real life? Because if you were, you wouldn't have time to do all this projecting.
But most of the time, them type of dudes they're not doing that in their real life. It's only them acting. Just like
Got to
Derek
be.
Jackson.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Urban, you heard what she said though, right? What did I say, Lionel? You know, it's, you be stirring the pot.
Oh, well, Lionel said drop the link.
Ah, I will drop the link, Lionel. Go ahead. Don't come up here
Von,
stirring no pot.
salute. Von's coming over here starting trouble and trying to say that it's me who's starting trouble.
I think you're misinterpreting projection. No, I'm not. I'm not misinterpreting projection. He's compensating for something. When people do that, they project. Hi, Lionel. Welcome to the panel. I said nothing but love your way.
Good evening. Thank you for having me up.
He gonna SBK. He gonna he going
Get
against
the
popcorn.
popcorn. Hey, SBK, this is like round 3 now.
See, they can't do nothing with me. That's what it is.
Hey, Von, she gonna be coming up here in a few seconds. Y'all not gonna be up here trying to jump my friend Queen, and she gonna run up here for like about 5 minutes and jump right on back down. I'm not finna deal with them right now.
She don't leave me hanging. She be having stuff to do. I'm sure you really talking about some. Here we go. Okay, go ahead, Lionel. What do you want to
So
add?
here's the thing. You're talking about men's mental health. And when you're talking about men's mental health, I think a lot of things, because a lot of women, not a lot, but women are bringing it up about men's mental health. However, when you have a community
Mm-hmm.
that you've seen, when you're like, you don't care about the red pill, because a lot of women are saying that because they don't like what they're hearing. That is literally the root of where you can figure out what's going on with these men. Listen to what they're saying, listen to their comments. So many women are triggered by what they're hearing that mental health talk goes out the window, and then they create
So,
their own projection.
so are you triggered because I said I don't like the red pill, or are you
No, no,
saying
no. I'm here to
I shouldn't say
enlighten
triggered.
you, because this
I
is
shouldn't
about,
say triggered.
because you
But
brought
is it
up,
that you
because
not paying attention?
There's things about, because the topic's about mental health, right? And men's mental
Right.
health, and that is a core component in the modern era right now about understanding what's exactly happening, what they're saying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying agree with anything they're saying, but so many women are dismissive to what they're
Mm-hmm.
saying. This is when we
I'm
go back and
not a
say
person.
the disconnect comes from the women.
Listen, so I'm not a person that's so quickly to say, "Oh, I don't care." The reason why I said it is because I have sat and listened. I have sat and listened to the theology of the red pill. I have
Not the theology.
the ideology, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I have sat and listened to it, and to me, what it says to me as a woman is that ideology takes away from it, silences our voice, and it minimizes us and reduces us to what Urban said the other day. We just a vessel to procreate.
It's up to y'all to
You understand?
prove differently,
We
though.
don't have a voice.
But it's literally derived from what is called the manosphere, a place for the men to talk and build themselves up. Women insert
Yeah, but you
themselves
don't
in,
have to
and it's
do
like,
that.
what about?
You, you
Go
don't
ahead.
have to do that and debase women at the same time, though.
See, and that's how y'all gonna take it, though. If y'all took it as just a means of, oh, listen, I mean, hold on, before I even finish my sentence, this is where I tell women all the time, they don't really talk to men. If you come to the back of the warehouse, if you're going into the business office, if you're on the basketball court, these men are saying absolutely nothing different than what men in everyday life are already been saying.
Hmm. I agree. I agree with that part. I do.
So
And
that's where that's what,
I'm the
go ahead.
chick. I'm the chick that always hung with the dudes. I couldn't get with female because they were too catty for me. You know, when I was younger, I didn't understand it. And then that whole energy of competition. I always chill with the dudes and had male best friends and stuff like that. I did. So I understand. I understand it. You know, and there are some men that don't necessarily embrace the red pill.
And they don't have, and trust me, they don't have to. That's some of them, they're betas, they're sips. I get it. They don't have to. Some of them are blue
Wow.
pill. I get it. But the reality is, they're saying stuff that people, a lot of women act like they've never heard this stuff before. And it always confuses the hell out of me. And it's like, how have you never heard any of this stuff? While some
We've
stuff
heard it,
is
but
actually,
we're just appalled and offended that in this day, people men still think like that.
and that makes no sense because of women weren't
Why
having the
not?
conversation, because of women weren't having the conversations to begin with. How are y'all offended?
We're offended
That's
just
where,
by hearing.
see, and that's the problem. That's why I said, that's where I bring up, if it's about
It's
men's mental
scary to
health.
think that men think that women are on some levels beneath them. Because that's how we're
I,
translating. That's how we're understanding it.
I don't
It's
know why y'all
scary to
thought men ever thought y'all were equals.
men, it's scary to think that men think that some women by definition are low quality or not high quality. It's scary to
Because
think that
some
men
are.
think that. Wow. Who determines if you're high quality or low quality? Because you said
Man, you're
that?
not about
Or
to tell
because
me
it's
this hood
real?
rat chick is a high
Oh,
quality woman.
yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because this is what we're talking about, right? It's
Nah,
scary
this
to think that I got to be a certain way in order for you to think that I'm high quality. Why can't I just be myself?
So did you think out them thug dudes was high quality men?
In that moment, I did. I was a 16-year-old child to see all this flashing money
no,
and all this stuff. Like,
age is
oh, look at
irrelevant.
this. I was adolescent. I was a kid.
So
Age is irrelevant.
yeah, so why do you think why you don't think they're high quality now?
Because I'm a grown woman.
That's
And
wild.
you
You just fell
understand,
into that.
I'm a grown woman, and you understand that lifestyle, it either goes both one way, two ways, the grave or prison. It's illegal. It's not a glamorous lifestyle, but in that moment, That's what I saw. Because that is what was presented before me. I was a
How
child.
you defeat
Listen
your
to
own
what I'm
argument?
I'm sorry.
How you defeat your own argument?
Y'all do that a lot. I notice that y'all do that a lot. Y'all come back and say defeat your own. I don't feel like I'm contradicting myself. What I am telling you is that as a 16-year-old child who was very impressionable and who was
You
just a kid
gotta
and
stop
who was
using
a
that.
product of their environment, thought that, and a lot of other women did the same. A lot of men did too. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just
I
sharing
don't
my
get how
truth.
women use that try to use that logic as an excuse when
I
they're
am a
like,
woman that
because
don't think like the child I was. I'm a woman now. I don't think like I used to because I was a
no,
child.
you're fine.
As a child
I'm
can be
not
a
saying
child and
how you
still
are
function
now.
as a woman. But
I'm
you
saying
asked me a
how
question
you
and I answered it.
I'm saying how
You
you
see?
was as a child.
Uh-huh.
Because if my mom tells me, hey, line at 15, I was dating this drug dealer, I'm gonna call her out on her
Mhm.
stupidity for that. You know better. It's
At
literally that
15,
simple.
do
She
we
knows
honestly
better.
know better at 15?
I'm
Do
letting
we
her know she
honestly know
knows better.
better at 15? Do we think like we think now at 15?
But here's the
None of
thing:
us
my mom didn't date a drug
none of us
dealer.
did.
No, I'm saying my mom didn't date a drug dealer because she did know better. I don't have to call her out on that. She knew this wasn't beneficial for her at 15. Hell, me at
And
5
that's
knew better.
and that's kudos for her. I
But
myself did not.
okay, so
It was a
you can
life
keep
lesson that I
reflecting
had to
on
learn.
you, but I'm bringing up women in general because they love to use
Yeah,
that
but you
victim
can't say
excuse.
women in general. You gotta say specifically. Because
No, no,
at the
no.
end of the
You
day,
can definitely
none of
use
us
women in
are
general
alike.
because
We're not
a
the
lot of
same.
women say this. Every man has heard the women use this argument. So there's
Okay.
nothing special about that. And we called them out on that BS because,
You
hey,
call that specific women out.
that young and dumb crap can only go so far.
It ain't crap. It's scientific. It's proven. Young people, our
I
brains
know
ain't
you
even
didn't
fully
just.
developed at that age. So we make dumb decisions at that age. We do. We all have.
I'm
Because
not
we
saying
don't
you
think
can't make
that
a dumb
what you
choice,
saying. What are you
but
saying?
but these women are consistent. This is where I went back to saying, just because you know better, don't mean you're gonna do better. A lot of
Okay.
women knew better. They didn't do better. They made deliberate choices.
Okay.
But the whole thing is calling them out, holding them accountable for it. Maybe the next generation to get it right.
All
But the
right.
women damn sure aren't teaching these young girls. They're letting them fall into the same pattern.
Who is?
And I'm glad we brought this up because
Who
I
is
equate
though?
this a lot of older women that are allowing this to happen.
Right.
That they're supposed to be the teachers. So now
And we
I'm
are.
gonna call.
Here, I'm
Yeah,
raising my
okay.
hand. I'm
Now
a
you
teacher.
are. No, don't be wrong. I know you're an educator.
Okay.
So hey, much
No,
respect for
I'm
you.
just saying in general. The reason why I'm out here on this platform is
No, not in general.
listen. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I'm not
Wait,
gonna
wait,
allow you
not
to take
you. No, no,
advantage.
no. See, you keep saying
So
you.
I'm out here being transparent and showing my life and giving certain life lessons that I've learned and failed at or achieved to be a template for what was not before me when I was a child. I'm out here because
Okay,
it wasn't a queen for
so
me. So this
you
is why
realize
I'm out
I'm
here.
not talking
So
about
you can take
you.
it or leave it.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying women in general. If it doesn't fit you, it doesn't apply to you. But if you go outside and you pick up 100 random women, I
You gotta say
guarantee they're not
some
teaching.
or when you say in general, that's like inclusive.
See, and y'all, if you want to take it that way, that's fine. I will dance around the argument. But the whole thing is, what you're seeing these dudes in the red pill doing is trying to teach this stuff because you've heard for 30 years men ain't shit, men are
Sweet
dogs,
Rita said
men are
something
trash.
that's poignant. She
But
said, "My girls are 22 and 25. They know better and do better, but yet they still test the waters."
sound like a parenting issue to me. Um,
Wow.
so
Are
the
you
thing is, I'm dead
serious?
serious. So the thing about this is you have these guys literally providing information because of the last 30 to 40 years of listening to how bad men are. So they're trying to shape men up,
You,
but there's getting so, and they're opening up that thing. Women have been saying for the longest, get help, talk to other dudes. Bam, they're doing that, and they're getting pushback because
who's
y'all don't like what they're hearing.
you gotta stop saying y'all. Because some
I don't
things
have
that
to
even
because
Urban
that's
has
what's
said,
happening.
even well, don't include me in y'all. Say
I,
y'all
I,
except for
I
Chris.
already told you you didn't
Because
have to do that.
because
You chose to do that.
because some things that Urban has said I have agreed with. I'm not so close minded I can't embrace different belief sets or embrace certain things that I identify with. Or something that he may, the opposition may say. I say, you know what, Daddy, that's correct. I'm not so close minded that I can't cross over the line to do that.
But you're saying that. Again, I'm not saying you're closed minded. You're saying that, or you're implying that. I'm not saying whatever you think you're thinking I'm saying. I'm telling you what's happening in the world.
Okay.
I'm tired of traveling. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't like traveling. My brother, all
Mm-hmm.
he does is travel. He tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
He want to settle down. My sister literally is with her boyfriend. They travel the country. My mom's in a different city every week in the country. But
Mm-hmm.
all we do is share stories about what's happened. All she does is talk to people. I'm telling you what's happening out there.
Okay.
What you can look at the feedback on social media by itself and see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about a men's mental health, but yet we have a whole situation, whether it's toxic or not, that's literally giving you these men feeding their emotions into things, expressing themselves. And what are they getting in return? Clapback. Not, oh, dang, we should create some solutions for this. It's the women giving so much pushback and clapback. There's the disconnect. I
Do you
outright
know
blame
that?
it on the women.
Okay, so that's you can do that, and that's fine. But do you know that there are so many other things in society and world in the world that is anti-black men
There are.
besides the black woman? We are not your enemy. We're not your number one enemy. Do you know that? There is
It's
so many things here in the United States alone that is working against the black man.
my
Do
question
you
is,
understand what our
do
so-called
the black
president has
men
done
know
to
that?
minorities and black men this week alone? Forget about the immigrants. What he has done behind the scenes with different amendments and rolling them back that specifically targets black men. We are not your enemy. Do we nag y'all to get
Do,
on y'all nerves? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I don't know about nobody, no other black woman, but I stand with my black men. You
do the
understand?
black
I'm not
men
your
know
enemy.
this?
I'm not your enemy. We
But
are not your enemy.
do the black man know that though?
I have no idea. You tell me because you're speaking for him right now.
They don't know that. They clearly don't. They don't see it. They don't feel it.
Okay. Urban, did you know that?
We don't know that because the black women they be disingenuous with us to be
Thank you.
honest.
I feel like you just want to say that because you want to partner with your buddy. I
What do
feel
you
No,
like that.
no,
mean?
You feel like that. I
we be
feel
going
like
back
you
to
just
hey,
partner with your buddy.
hey, hey,
He's
now,
married. I'm not.
Sweet Rita
hey,
says
we
sounds like an adult can actually do what they choose.
yeah, well, whenever me and Lana we having conversations, we either agree, we disagree, or we agree to disagree. But this particular situation, I agree with him because it's the truth.
Mhm.
Because
So the
in
sole
these
enemy of the sole root of men's mental illness, and you correct me if I'm wrong. The sole root of this is the black woman.
so a good part of it, yeah, to be
Wow.
honest, a good part of
Okay.
it. Besides of what he did with everyday life, another key component it is the behavior. Well, a lot of black women, well, a lot of modern day women, or sometimes it could be women in general as well too. But it
That's sad. That's
depends
sad
on her
commentary.
upbringing and everything.
That saddens me because that makes me understand why you all see us as an enemy and not an ally. And that breaks my, to be honest, it truly breaks my heart, because that means you already going to come into any type of engagement or any type of conversation with your guard up and skeptical of us without even hearing our point of view or our rationale. You already coming in tense, and that shouldn't be.
I wouldn't say that because they'll also be disingenuous on our part. But I would say this though: we come with a Garza, we become as being a Superman to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we can't
We really
be
get you one
vulnerable.
backlighter. She said, "Sound like parody issues."
But it's a but we can't be a Clark Kent to y'all. You know, Superman is always out saving the world, right? And sometimes we just want to hang out, cape up, and just be normal. But when we get into the presence of that say a woman who's supposed to be supporting us and loving us and stuff, guess what? It's a whole situation going into that because she mad because she thinking that we cheated on her. She mad because she had a bad day at work and she want us to listen to her vent at work instead of her acknowledging our day. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, how was your day? How were you doing? You know, during your day. It always be about her first. Then after when we listen to whatever it is that's going on with her, then that's when if she decided to do that, to reciprocate. You know what I'm saying? And then when we express them needs and concern, guess what? We're being called sassy. We be emasculated and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And on
I
top
don't
of
know
that,
these
let
women.
let
I
let
don't
let the
know.
relationship in. Let the relationship in. That's when you're going back to your homegirls and going on. And these modern days, you go on social media and report a retired situation.
Oh, but
Saying
you know, y'all, we
masculine.
do realize
Look
that's
at
not
this
all women.
messages.
You know, okay, so let me stop you real quick. So here's the thing. They always say that. The women always love to say, you know, that's not all women. And when
Because I'm
you
one of those
create,
women.
but let me know,
Okay.
when you create that prelude to anything you're about to say, you're already dismissing the man's feelings.
How am I dismissing your feelings?
Two, because you've already set the precedence of it. You're
Wow.
already that's how the man is
You
looking
know,
at
when
it.
I say
Once
that, when
again,
I say that, I want to. When I say that, that's me throwing out a lifeline of hope to say, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry that you experienced that with whatever woman that you maybe those your bad decisions, your bad choices with women, but I am not like that."
that's not how men take it. Well, how you
Well,
think is not how men take it. Hence why I said, do women really
that's
talk
why
to
we
men?
need to have an open dialogue. You're right. We need to have an open dialogue
Mhm.
with men because I understand that we can have miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? And be I hate to the core to be misunderstood. I honestly do. Especially with my husband. And then we already got a cultural barrier. And sometimes we have a language barrier where I'm not really understanding what he's saying. And I hate that. So Sweet Rita said somebody needs oh Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. She
See,
knows somebody needs
that's part of that emasculation part.
oh
Meaning
Lord.
that the dude is
Yeah.
acting sassy and sweet and acting like a child and all this stuff. But that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
So do you
That
feel
right
a
there.
man can say whatever and a woman needs to watch her mouth? She's asking a question.
I'm saying y'all don't try to understand the way y'all think because if it doesn't sound right to you, that's how you're going to operate under instead of listening what he's saying.
Okay, so can you tell me something, Lionel? Can you share one thing that you feel men need to elevate to or that
So
they
what?
need to progress in? Yeah. Can you tell me one thing that you feel men need to do? Because I mean, you haven't said you. I mean,
I got
since you've been
you.
on my
I
panel,
got no. I got you. They need to
okay.
stop
Because I'm
listening
like,
to
man, I
women.
feel like, man, we are so messed up. You
They
know.
need to stop listening to women. They have listened to women so much. They have literally they're transitioning into women. They need to stop
Okay.
listening to women.
You know what I get from you, and I'm saying this with all respect.
Go for it. You're good.
Promise you. She said all women are not the same. I just said that he
Oh
just
my goodness.
laid it to me. Don't say it no more, Rita. Please don't. Okay. Uh, what I get from you,
Go ahead.
Lionel, is
Tell me
that
what you get.
what I get, what I get from you, and I could be dead wrong. Okay,
Go for it.
is that your experiences with women from motherhood to wherever to relationship has not been good repeatedly,
Interesting.
and it has not, and it has caused you to view women as an obstacle and something that needs to conform to your thinking or your lifestyle,
Interesting.
your way. I could be dead wrong, and I would eat it
I
in
mean,
front of
I,
him.
I mean,
But it seems
I
like
mean,
you just don't like
I can give a quick snippet. I mean, me and my mom, I would argue that's my best friend. We've had
really.
grew up
The way he
together
talked about
literally.
her on the other podcast, I was like, man, he really do not like his mom.
No, I love my mom, but me and
Okay.
her, we challenge each other. We're stone cold to each other. Unlike a lot of parental children relationships, we don't
So
operate
you
that way.
stone cold to your mother.
Yeah,
Okay.
we challenge each other. I mean, we sit here and cuss each other out. Like we sit
Wow.
here yelling in each other's face. We will look like the Rock and Stone Cold, ready to
Is
throw
that
down.
healthy? Is that
Oh,
healthy?
heck yeah, man.
Really?
We have built each other
So you
to
feel like
be some of the.
the art of dialogue and communication is to use profanity and elevate your voice to where y'all both yelling at each other. Y'all possibly not hearing each other
Ironically, we hear each other better than people think that we do.
through profanity and yelling.
So I will say this, and again, it's all about understanding. When generally speaking, and there's studies on this, if most of the women who have been assaulted and have had children, the children has this habit of growing up and looking like the abuser, unfortunately. I grew up looking like a direct image of her. So she got blessed in that regard. We also have a
Okay.
twin effect, a very nasty twin effect that I don't really like. And she has a
Okay.
habit of being able to sense when I'm doing things. If she gets a migraine, I get a migraine. We have lost the same tooth out of the same area at the same time. We have had identical injuries. We literally have a twin effect. And so we
Hmm.
know how to communicate with each other. I respect her because she is the mom, but at the same time, she's going to say I act like her dad because I have helped raise her. And we have pushed each other to be the best versions of ourselves.
So
And
you
we
have
still
helped raise
do.
your mom because I
I
remember you
have.
saying she made poor choices in men. I remember you saying that.
Now
So
she
you
does
didn't
make poor choices. She does make poor choices in men. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's most women in general.
okay.
But we
So
have a
if
fantastic
you said
relationship.
if most women make poor choices in men, that means there's a lot of bad men out here.
I actually do agree with that though. But I also think a lot of you women just
That's
choose
good.
to ignore the good men.
Mm-hmm.
No, we
I
do
really
not.
do think I
Oh
really
God,
do
you
think
know what? I'm most definitely putting you on my prayer list, and I'm gonna labor in prayer for you because I believe God
What?
needs to rub off that hard spot, and you got a big old hard mallet in your heart, and God wants to smooth it and soften it up, and He gonna send you the
but
right one you ain't already
I'm
got it.
giving I'm just giving you a
Rub
snippet. I
that
mean,
mallet up out of you
Hold on, Queen. How did you get all of that out?
yeah,
because
what
I
the
feel
hell?
it in my spirit. God sent them to this channel. I done turned
Uh,
spiritual, and I put my collar on.
Actually Urban sent me
I'm praying
here,
for you.
but
I love
Urban,
you.
use that God voice, Urban.
I love you.
Lionel, pull up to the
I love you,
channel.
man. You are valuable. You are strong, and I'm praying
Wait,
for
but
you.
hold on. That's the thing though. My mom told me all of this stuff. Her first lesson literally in this life
We talking about
was
some
you're
family.
gonna be a leader.
You
And
better take that suit off.
my
You hear
mom
me?
really shaped me.
Women
But
do
here's the
choose to be with bums
wait,
purposely.
y'all are touching the
She,
wrong
she said
thing.
earlier today that she do so.
Who said that earlier?
You said it earlier where you was choosing the old thug
Hey,
drug
look,
dealers when you was young.
Urban, even throw the word choose out. I was 16 years old. Y'all, you acting
It
like I was
don't
a
matter
grown
about your age.
told. Yeah, dude.
The moment you made
Yeah,
But
that
dude. But we
decision,
and listen, we ain't gonna play
but
dumb up here.
Urban,
You already know we don't think like a child now. You know that.
but Queen, here's the thing. So I also help out women. I do social work, helping out a lot of women, particularly because a lot of them have some real traumatic stories and they're victims, and a lot
That's
of
what's
people actually cannot understand their point of view, but I can. So I help out a lot of women in that regard. Most of my friends are females, and I'm
He
constantly
said bums.
judging them on their
He said
bad
bums are
decision
winning.
making. Huh?
Oh my God. He said bums are winning.
Bums are winning. He's right. Definitely in the black community.
Really?
But so when you say that, and most of
Okay,
my
so
past
what about the poor
relationships, and
whites?
most of my past relationships, I would actually argue were all pretty good. They all ended on all but one ended on a good note, actually.
That's surprising because I think that's the first time I heard you say something positive about black men and black women relation.
Oh, I didn't say I only date black women.
Oh, I'm
In
about to
fact,
break
I
you
would argue the
down.
black woman
Break
is
you
the one I had
down.
the worst
I
relationship
am
with.
going to break on you.
Is
I'm
yeah,
going to break
definitely
on you.
the black woman definitely had the worst relationship. Everyone else was perfect. Maybe not perfect,
You
but they
know
were great.
what? You just did it. You just did it. I'm going to break. I believe it's a lifestyle brand for anyone who believes in something greater than themselves. The time is now to simply believe. Believe in something greater than yourself. That's Dennis Gregory. Please support, support, support. Okay, I hope that you have changed your tune, you have reflected, and you are ready to talk differently now.
No, I was just giving you a snippet so I could course correct you on
Did
my
you say
mentality.
everybody got a commercial? That's my friend Dennis Gregory. He sells t-shirts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Now, SBK on this channel, they do commercials too.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's why he laughing. That's why SBK laughing.
Oh,
I like.
okay.
I'm the only one on my channel that don't have commercials. Well, technically speaking,
Do
I
it
do
to
my commercials
support.
at the very beginning of my stream. So
Yeah, I do it to support, people, specifically black owned businesses. But go ahead,
It's all,
Lionel.
it's all about communication at the end of the day. I mean, again, all I was doing was course correcting you on how I am mentally, but it's
Yeah,
all about understanding also.
I can't even take nothing that you're saying because you are being influenced by the poor whites. No,
Wow.
I'm just playing. I was just joking.
Wow.
Look at Aubrey eyebrows. Look, I'm just joking, y'all. I'm just joking. My niece look like snowflakes. I'm a biracial family. We're just joking.
If we're, if we're
I
talking
was
about
totally
mental health,
joking. Yeah.
but if we're talking about mental health, that's why it's important to look into the spaces where the men are talking. And instead of listening to disagree or listening to be offended, listen to understand. You don't have to like what's being said to understand how they're looking at things. And then look at the comments, look at the chat, listen to how these men are talking. These men
I
are
did.
going through stuff.
I was in the bushes a long time. Going to different podcasts, and listening and watching because it was intriguing, especially when it was trending. I was in there looking because I did want to know, and I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like we had a chance. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like the black woman had a chance with individuals that thought like that because y'all would just assume or be immediately skeptical of us. And you can't.
And I
Here's
disagree
me.
with that.
You
Well,
disagree? Like,
so
are you gonna give us a chance to prove to you, or be good to you, or be in a good relationship with a black woman without being skeptical?
I mean, maybe a white woman, but no, like
See, I'm
what
Fred.
what I'm saying is women have y'all hear what y'all are hearing, and they're being dead serious for the most part.
Mm.
However, to think that these men won't give you a chance, I think y'all completely underestimate how much a man will simp for you,
We
even though
already think that we are this and that and this and that and
and
this and
they
that.
will still try to give you the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I say the women they don't talk to men. They don't have the right conversations because they're too busy negating or creating this image in their head of the future. But these dudes are willing to give you the world regardless of what they're saying. Just because they're, like I said, these dudes have been feeling like this for 30 years. But the men have still been giving the women the world.
Maybe
I
one
still,
night I will bring my women and you bring your men, and we'll just have a dialogue. We'll have a conversation. How about that?
you only
Who,
need me and Urban.
Really?
hold on. Who you trying to bring? Vons?
Don't you worry about
Yeah,
it.
don't
Don't you
bring
worry
Vaughn. She don't count.
Oh, and she most definitely gonna be on the panel. She most
See,
definitely gonna be on the panel.
she got no wisdom to give.
Wow.
I kind of curious. I kind of curious to see who Queen gonna bring.
Don't you
Because
worry
I mean,
about it.
she could bring 8
I'm
people.
going in the backwoods to get mine. Don't you worry about it.
It can literally just be me and Urban.
Man, I hope and pray you don't be breaking them people that you roll with, man, to have a conversation.
Really? Who do you know that I roll with? How do you know who I roll with?
Look. People know Urban. They know I'm out in the streets, and they know that I'll be in different spaces. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Be chilling.
okay.
Most of the time I'll be in the bushes, but when I decide to pop out, lo and behold, people, oh my God, Urban.
Is that what they do? Is that what they do?
That's what they do. That's what they
Oh,
do
really?
whenever I
Okay.
decide to pull up and pop out on them. But
Okay.
Very good.
Well, I really want to have this dialogue, this conversation. Like I say, Lionel, you really I'm really intrigued with you. I really am.
I'm still curious to want to know, why do you think that this man here needs prayer? Why you think his heart is hardened and all that stuff there? Because in reality, Lionel Hardy is not hardened at all. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
He does have a
he's like
different
pretending that
perspective
it
about
is.
his
Because he's doing
and
a
adult.
great job and pretending that it is here today. Well, especially in the other
Wow.
video.
What?
The other video, I was like, my God. Who
So
he
what
need
did
a
I say
hug.
in the other video though that made you say that?
It's just your cadence and some of the things that you were saying. You know, when you came out and it was saying what you said about your mother, I was like, whoa.
But what did I say about her? I held her accountable. That she
Yeah,
made dumb choices and I called her out on it.
No,
yeah, but you
I make sure my mom can't run away from things. I
no.
make
but
sure
is
that
that
she's
your
not a victim.
job? Is that your job?
Yes.
Okay.
I hold my mom accountable the choices decisions.
See?
Okay. Who's holding you accountable, Lionel?
My mom definitely holds me accountable.
It don't sound like
Did,
She
it. Most
did
definitely
not,
don't sound
hey,
like it. It most
hey,
definitely don't sound
hey, did also Lionel have a circle like me, SBK and other men that also hold him.
I've
so y'all
gathered,
hold
I got
each
a
other
nice little
accountable.
circle I've built.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Woo! Look who here. No.
Let's go, SBK.
That's right.
Bring them on. Bring them on. Y'all see I'm in my own little rectangle, baby. Let's go.
Round 4, fight.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm
The
comfortable.
Silverback King in the building. What's up with it?
I'm
Hey,
comfortable.
y'all. Hey, you got a fire show.
Thank you. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you for having me on. You got a fire show. Y'all cooking. Look,
What would you like to add?
well, you're talking about mental health, and that was the original topic. I think that, man, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Mental health, when it comes to a black man these days, is it's not taken serious, enough. And we feel like that we don't have anybody to talk to. We can't talk to our women because our women are going to, like I stated in in the chat, our women are going to use that against us whenever they get pissed off at us. Our women are going to belittle us. And I feel like, and I hear what you're saying, Queen. I hear what you're saying, and that's that's noble, and it's awesome that you see value in our men, but unfortunately, a large portion, a majority of women do not share that same sentiment with you, and that's the cold-hearted reality about that. And our women are so freaking proud sometimes that it gets to the point to where when we do have legitimate issues in life, you know, I mean, we're not gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? Especially to our women, we're not gonna talk about it. It's just it's gonna be taboo. You know what I mean? So because of that, that's you know, I feel like our women, number one, don't know how to approach us. Number two, I feel like our women have it's almost like they're perpetual in having a guard up. You know what I'm saying? Having a guard up.
Ask yourself, why is that? Ask yourself, why is that?
Why they have a guard up?
Why do we have that guard up? And I can only tell you from my perspective, but go ahead.
I will tell. I'm going to tell you from my perspective, because they are used to men that are lesser than men, and so when you bring that into another relationship, but that's not fair. But when you bring that into another relationship,
but it's the reality.
Yeah, you bring that into another relationship, then that's not fair to that man. And that man is, you know, I'm pretty sure he's with you. He loves you. You know, he wants to build with you. But how are you supposed to build when you have all that baggage from bums that you dealt with in the past, or some type, you know, you see what I'm saying?
So my challenge, when I challenge myself in my marriage, is to not come into this relationship expecting the same behavior from my previous men. Not expecting my husband to behave that same way. And he came in saying, I'm not them. I want you to know. He didn't have to say that, but I guess he felt like he needed to. I already saw that he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, yeah, there are some women out there that come in with this preconceived, oh, he gonna mess around on me eventually. He gonna cheat on me eventually. So they guard themselves, but men do too. You know? Men do too. But it's been, and I'm just gonna sound so predictable or so basic right now. But it's almost like we coming in with our hurt and y'all coming in with y'all hurt too. We coming in with our trust issues. Y'all coming in, you know, being suspicious of us, holding back. And it's messed up. It is jacked up, because I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nothing like and I'm not racist, y'all. Please don't think I am. It's nothing like a good, strong black man and a good, strong black woman pulling each other up, bearing each other up. It's nothing like it. We get each other. We get each other.
Hey, you racist as hell.
No, I'm not. Listen, I had a beautiful Puerto Rican man I was dating. You understand? He was gorgeous. And I loved him. You understand?
Hey, you know, you just sound like them white people, right? I'm not racist. I got a black friend.
He was beautiful. His name was Felix. He was beautiful. I loved him. He sold drugs for my brother and beat his mama on the weekends. But I loved him. Loved him to death. I did.
You still cool with that Puerto Rican dude still to this day?
Don't even know where he at. Nope, don't even know where he at. But I say this, yeah. So yeah, I can understand that it's holding back because you're not gonna use this against me, and I'm not gonna be oblivious and say that it doesn't happen. It does happen. Women do that, and I hate to see it. I honestly cannot stand to. I hate to see a woman belittle a black man. I can't stand for a wife to talk about their husband or their shortcomings. I can't stomach it.
But you know,
I can't do it.
But you know that you know, you said that, but you know, with our women, they're quick to do that. A majority of them do that. they tell strangers about what goes on if a man can't perform in the bed, or a man can't, you know what I'm saying, got, issues with their family or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, why you have to tell that man's business like that?
I can't even bring myself to do nothing like that. I can't even bring myself to do it.
He's entrusting you, and he's supposed to be, you know what I mean? And you're doing that. So, mental health is real. So that's one of the reasons why folks, we stay guarded. I can only speak for myself, though. You know what I mean?
One thing about it, to see Black men go out in the world and to build something, accomplish something, and they have to go through so many different barriers, economically, socially, racially. You understand? It's a lot. And we, and traditionally, and this is where I kind of switch over, Urban. The women, we sit at home and we just want them to bring home and go out there, go beat on the animal, bring it back. You know what I'm saying? We just want you to go make it happen. We don't know how you do it. Sometimes you have to swallow your pride to provide for your family. We don't care. We just want you to be men, and we want to do it. But in the same token, there still should be. I feel like your home is your recovery station. As men, when you come home, that's supposed to be your safe haven. You know that cliche, I'm his peace. You actually, you're supposed to be his God, and you're supposed to provide peace for that man, and vice versa. But I feel like we're missing the message because we're so stuck in this war between the genders. I really feel like we allow that to get in the way to just having a flourishing, honest, transparent relationship. Yeah, I'm broken, but you are too. Let's get fixed together. Let's work on this together. It sounds cheesy, but that it is truly what is needed.
No, see, the problem with that is
Lionel,
that's where nah,
stop.
so I can't let this go. Like I've
Okay.
let you talk. So here's the thing. You
All
can't
right.
say that when the 30 years prior to when the dudes really had a chance to start talking, it's just basically been about how bad the men are. No woman's gonna sit here and be like, that has not been in the newspaper, that wasn't on the radio, that wasn't on TV.
The
It was
radio and the
just
newspaper.
it was just the portrayal of how bad, definitely the black man, but how bad the men are, how they're not
I feel
doing
like
anything.
only you was hearing it. Not
And
to say only you, but I feel like you really hyper focusing on this.
so now
You
hold
have
on
that
now.
look. I'm
Now hold
telling you as
on.
a black woman that you are strong, that you a good black man,
No,
and I see your
and I appreciate that. Trust me, all the white
okay.
women and Japanese women told me this.
Build on that.
And but here's the thing. I don't care about how I'm looking at it. I care about how a large amount of the men are looking at it. If I'm gonna feel some type of way about, oh man, if I'm gonna say all women are like this, I know I'm gonna be wrong. However, when I start talking to the next man, then I start talking to the next man. And now we create a whole network where they're talking to different men. And these men are just doing nothing but sharing their stories. And you're seeing, God dang, this what these women doing out here in these streets? So
Man,
I'm not the
you
only
so
one.
broken. Love you. I want to give you a hug.
No, it's not bad though. I'm like, well, technically they're bad. But you have a network of men trying to tell what's happening. We're literally
Okay.
putting it on display in front of the world, telling y'all
Mhm.
what is happening. But yet we hear every woman trying to say that they're different until you talk to them. And then these women start telling you about the 7 pookies they dated. Or
Mhm.
they're telling you how they used and abused this guy. Or they're
Who
telling you
has
how they,
done this to you?
huh?
Who has done this to you? Because you you
You
you speaking, I don't know what's going on. To be honest,
no,
and
I'm telling
I can't
you,
peg you. And really trying to peg you, but I
but
can't.
I'm trying to tell you what the men are saying. It's irrelevant about me. I'm telling you what the men are saying.
To be
Okay.
to be to be fair, Queen. To be fair, what he's saying, uh,
Uh-huh.
we just can't marginalize him. That's happened to me on every scale. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
every woman that I've just about every woman, I would say every woman that I've dealt with or whatever, has had a Pookie or a Ray Ray put them through
My
the
God.
ringer, right? I want you to follow me now, okay?
I'm
Has had a
following.
Pookie or has had a Pookie or Ray Ray put them through the ringer, right? You got a guy like me. I'm not saying I'm a square, but I have done things I have, turned out to be right thanks to, mom and dad. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get over on anybody, or I haven't tried to get over on anybody. Doing the right thing, right? So you got my attention. So once you get my attention, you just think that you just talk to me any type of way. You think you could just treat me just like a I don't know, just like trash on the street. But once Pookie or Ray Ray, you get a Pookie or Ray Ray. Oh, this dude here.
They treat him like a queen, a king.
Man. Like I said, them dudes are winning. You hear me? Just look at some of the YouTube creators, content creators on here, and you think that I'm lying. You know what I mean? Look at some of the YouTube content creators. You know what I'm saying? So that's a testament in itself. But I'm just being fair. He's not. Lionel is basically telling cold hard facts. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean that someone has been hurt through situations.
Lionel was hurt. Let's be clear. He's hurt. Okay.
I mean,
no, I'll just play a Lionel.
That is hilarious.
I'm just playing Lionel.
You're fine.
I'm messing with you.
This
is interesting for me. You have opened up my eyes. But
hey,
when you hear it all the time, you feel attacked.
Hey, let me add on to this as well too. Now, if we was having this conversation over 15 years ago, then I'll be on more of a side with you, Queen, because during that time I was in my first marriage, and of course I was in my bubble, and my simping bubble. All right, let's call it for what it is. So, when I got divorced, right, and I chilled for like years or whatever, didn't even date, didn't even do nothing there, you know what I'm saying? It was cool to me. But the moment when I entered back into the dating market, that's when I started seeing what both of these gentlemen is talking about for dating, for the type of women out there, you know what I'm saying? Where they literally do be going after these Pookies and Ray Rays, then they like to try to attempt to trauma bond with you, or they'll want to put you on a team, as they call it, you know what I'm saying? Where you'll be the friend, right? Or you be the friend zone person where they could rely on you, while Pookie sitting up here smashing the hell out of them and treating them wrong. That finally they come back around to saying, you know what? I believe that you are the man.
They basically started acting like dudes.
I mean, that's what you want to call it. but at the end of the day, I can understand where these gentlemen come from, because I also dealt with that while I was out there in the dating market. You know what I'm saying? Dating with different women who had this same type of behavior mindset. You know what I'm saying? They want to use and bruise men, and on top of that, when you try to be vulnerable, they call you sassy. They simply talking about that you need to, like what Sweet say, you need to go suck on a woman's titty because you're a baby. You know what I'm saying? Weird stuff like that to try to low-key emasculate you. You know what I mean?
That's why I brought that up earlier when I said what I said. When I brought up how it's the women that are breaking these men. It is. The same dudes that they're trying to give the world to are the same ones that's breaking them.
Yeah, because you know why? It was done to us so many times, so we are reciprocating. I'm not saying it's right though. I don't say I agree with it, but that's what I hear in my little chats and groups that I talk to my women. This is what they
And I
do.
generally question this. Now, don't get me, because again, I help women who have been abused, so I hear these stories now. But at the same time, it's something's always missing, because I'm always trying to figure out what triggered this. Because it's always just the man did this and she was the victim. until I gotta pry it out of her so I can hold her accountable for her part in this situation. But in the sake of this conversation, you keep trying to give us the other perspective when it's not needed. We're telling you that this is what are men going through, men's mental health, what they're experiencing, what they're feeling, why they're not being vulnerable, what has led them to not doing this, because the women want to put up with, the Pookies. The Pookies are winning. You know?
You know what? I'm going to say something because I do understand, and I have seen where women will pour in so much investment to these men who are not worth it, who are just totally degrading them. I do get that. I understand that. And then you got the average Joe that, may not be the roughneck or may not, or they may be mild mannered or whatever, and they'll just totally railroad them because that's not what they want. It's like they gravitate to that aggressive personality.
You know what you just brought up too? The average Joe. They've stigmatized being average. The average man is stigmatized.
Well,
The
y'all call
Pookie,
me average.
well, that's not a stigma though.
Oh, it ain't.
No, it's not.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. When a dude, most dudes are going after the
Really?
average girl.
Go ahead and say what you gonna say. Okay.
Most
It's
most men
not
are going
average when
after the
when
average
you say
girl.
it, but it's average when I say it.
But no, see, that's what I said. Listen to what I'm saying. Women have
I am.
stigmatized it to the men. Being average is lame. Doing the 9 to 5 is lame. Especially what we hear in the black community. If you're not a drug dealer, you know, a pookie essentially, or if you're not a rich dude, you're lame. The middleman is stigmatized. That's what the men are experiencing.
I approve that message.
Of course you would.
Mhm.
Of course you would.
But
I
It's
that's
mean,
okay.
but that's true. But because a woman is going to respect a man who is these days, a woman is going to respect a man who is not getting it out of the mud legitimately. That's
Really?
if, of course, a woman is going to respect the man that's always going to try to get over on you. You know what I mean? Because of course she wants a
What
piece of the
woman?
pie. Huh?
A woman with low value, low
oh
attention.
my
Low
goodness.
Mhm. Hey,
What did
hey,
I say,
gentlemen.
Lionel, that made you say, "Oh my goodness"?
Hey, gentlemen. Y'all know.
What's
Hey,
up, man?
gentlemen. Y'all know the reason why. The reason why is because women are chaotic in nature. It is
I agree.
what it
I
is.
quit. I
They
quit.
they
You
they
know,
love
I,
chaos, so they create chaos
first
even
of
within
all,
men.
just because it comes out your mouth, that don't mean that it's true.
So
All I gotta say is if they love chaos, urban, then don't come crying when the chaos is too much.
Facts. And then guess what? They be wanting us to come and rescue them, then be they Superman.
And then Miss Queen, you know how many times I've tried to get at some certain females, and they go to the Pookie and the Ray Ray, and they come back and want to shoulder the cry. I'll be like, oh no, oh no,
They want to come back to you
oh yeah, oh no, oh hell no,
because they don't miss what they had.
oh yeah, go back to Pookie and Ray Ray, go find you another one. You know what I'm saying?
Are you single?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I got some good
Single.
sisters for you. I'm gonna send them your way. I'm not gonna send them to Lionel's way. No, this way.
no, don't send them my way. But I'm just saying, if the women don't take the time to listen, they're so busy deflecting, they're so busy victimizing, they're so busy shaming, they're so busy talking
Get your
about the
eyebrows
ain't.
down.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're so busy doing it, they're not listening to what the man is saying. Then it becomes, what women are y'all talking about? What women do y'all find? With all the hood rats that keep coming up. I keep saying there's a million woman march of Pokishas that's out here, and they're just
Really?
all around.
Lionel, I want you to know that it's a whole remnant of women that are not like that.
This is hilarious. I'm aware, but that's not the point. I'm telling you what these men are meeting.
What can they stop meeting? It's toxic. The whole meeting is toxic. Everything they
How are they
saying is
supposed? They don't know.
the pill. Don't take the pill. It's toxic. It's all
You
toxic.
don't have to take pills to see what's happening. Trust me, I don't prescribe to it, but I listen to all of the different pills to hear what they're talking about. So I
I'm
get what
talking.
huh?
Never mind.
So I'm saying if you're not listening to understand, then you're not going to get what they're talking about. And a lot of women don't want to understand. They want to be right. They want it to work their way. And the men are saying that y'all way don't work no more.
I feel like that's just humanity.
True.
Period.
This when that way worked to begin with in the first
Okay,
place.
that too.
We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it.
No, you're right.
I feel like y'all walking tall with y'all bats, and you coming for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, should I
But
be sealing up my windows and doors for real? You know.
Hey,
But I know,
hey,
no, Lionel, that all fun. I get exactly what you're saying. Like, you gotta hear the message before you just prejudge. You know, understand where they're coming from. I get it.
yep,
I get it.
yeah. I agree with him too. Like I don't agree with all them pill talking points, but yet still I understand where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes for you to listen to understanding so you can formulate your own personal biases around it, you know what I'm saying, where you can understand them, but at the same time, like, okay, well, I'm going to move this certain type of way, if that makes any sense.
No, I understand. I totally understand.
that's not
I
what the
like.
women are
I,
doing.
how do you know that? You speak so matter of fact,
Are you
Lionel.
kidding me? Because we
Yes,
see the
I
women's
am. No,
reaction.
no,
We
I'm
see the women's reaction.
oh,
The women's
well, let me.
reaction are telling you that they're not trying to understand.
Are they? Are they really?
Yeah.
Because I'm really trying to understand you right now in this moment.
So just because one woman is understanding doesn't really say much. And you struggle to
Really?
understand.
I'm struggling. Did you say I'm struggling to understand?
Of course.
Am I?
A little bit. Not a lot.
Wow.
But
Wow. All right, Lionel. I'm going to continue to
I
labor
think
with
you,
you in prayer.
Queen, I think you need to dedicate a show to the women and ask the women why they don't listen, why they're not.
I'm going to dedicate that. I'm going to invite Lionel because he is clearly enlightening me tonight.
Yeah, he's not alone. I mean, we're just saying some
Oh, I
things that
know. Trust me, I know.
we're just saying some things that a lot of men, majority of men, are scared to bring to the forefront.
Okay.
oh, I'll definitely pop up.
All right.
I mean,
That's a,
Urban and Lionel know that a lot of my talking points are not very popular with the women folk. So
make sure you put
whenever I
your
talk,
channel link in here so that we can support you.
okay,
Okay.
sure. But a lot of the things that I talk about when it comes to relationships and dating and marriage and all that, I bring some stuff that's not really popular. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So these
Mm-hmm.
guys are not alone on that. And I can only speak from personal experience. You know what I mean? And a lot of people in my chat, they know me personally, and they can't really say it out loud, but they hit me up behind the scenes like, "Yeah, bro, you're right." But they
I
don't
told
want
you
to.
what happened to me in the grocery store. I was talking to a friend I had met. We had lost track, and we met up. And he was sharing pictures of his kids and wife, and I was sharing pictures, my wedding pictures. And he was like, "Now you go ahead and you be submissive to that husband, not like these American black women. You go ahead and be submissive, and you know that the man is the head of the household." I'm like, I get that, but why are you whispering it like it's some type of code, or why are you whispering like that, and why are you talking to me like that? Like something is wrong with American women in general. It was so weird to me. Now because I'm like, bro, you weird. You weird. Then he had his wife phone and she wasn't there. I'm like, well, how is she able to communicate to you? It was screaming traffic. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't understand what was happening.
My
Like
best
that was
my
weird.
best one of my
We
best
want
friends
to
just
be
got engaged.
submissive. We want to be submissive to you guys. I want
Now
to
here
be and am submissive to my husband. I want
you
that.
so you're saying that. One of my best friends has called me. He just got engaged.
Okay.
Now I'm being nice because I would tell him cut that off. But he just got engaged. And he is in the last year. I've hit him up. He talked to me. He'd be kind of whispering, because his girl would be around, and he just wasn't being himself.
Okay.
However, he would call me on some random night of the week because his fiance wasn't around, and he would unload on me for an hour, telling me just all the crap that's going on. And I'm
Did he
like,
tell me?
dude, you couldn't say this in front of her?
Right. I
Heck
agree with you
no.
there. The main
Heck
person
no,
he
he
needs to
couldn't
be
do
telling
that.
wasn't in the wrong. That's the problem.
Apparently she don't listen. It has to be her way. So of course I gotta call him out on that. Like, dude, you gotta man up, and like sometimes you gotta knock her around and set her straight. I didn't
Are
say
you
that. But
serious?
I did say he gotta
No, you
man
didn't
up.
say that. I know you
I
didn't
did
say that. Yeah.
I told him he gotta man up. Like, dude, say this in front of her. Like, say it with this tone.
How about say it in front of her or have a dialogue with her or
Nah,
sit
F
her
all
down?
that. You need to be Hitler in front of her. You need to
And
say it
that's
in
the
this
problem.
tone.
First of all, let's forget about woman and man. Let's about human to human. I'm gonna need you to show me humanity and talk to me like a human being. And it got nothing to be the inflection of the tone, because people can be real serious and whisper, and you can understand they mean business. It's about
Nah,
respect me
because
as people. Now,
so
if
you have
she
to understand,
cannot be rational, then yeah, I get that.
not
But what you
everyone's
not
gonna
gonna do is
take
come in.
that.
You got to use the
That
tone and
don't
inflection to
reflect
deal
this
with
on you though.
it.
You're
No,
reflecting this
we're
on
not dealing
you.
with that.
Don't reflect it
No.
on you. For him, he needs to stop playing with her because he already talks to her in this little soft beta voice. So I'm like,
Right.
dude, you need to raise your voice and really put it down.
And do what? Because when he raises his voice, she's not going to be listening to that. All she gonna
Actually,
hear is who is you yelling at,
actually, he got
unless
pretty
she
far
really
with that.
and don't want to lose him. Because one thing you're not gonna do
All
is
I'm
raise
saying
your
is he
voice
got
and
pretty
talk
far with that when he
disrespectfully.
finally decided to raise his voice. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last because that's not exactly him. So he got to
That's
basically be
that's
someone
not
he's not.
a behavior. You don't tell somebody to raise your voice and yell at them to get their attention. She's not a child, and he shouldn't have to
Well,
do that to
some of y'all women act like children and need to be treated accordingly.
Who says, bro, you was scaring me? No, that's not how you go about relationship. You start treating your mate who signed up to be with you as a child to get some type of attention. Who does that? But another
Is not.
kid, another
What are you
child.
talking about? Evidently, women of old, that's all they said their man was doing.
I don't know what woman you talking to, but you need to stop talking to no women and stop being
Plenty of big
around them.
mamas. Plenty of big mamas.
What? Bro, you weird.
See, you saying weird, but how often are you going outside and talking to these people and seeing what's really happening?
I see it all the time. I
Apparently
see it.
not. I need you to
What I'm
expand your
saying is
horizons a
there is
little bit
a
more.
healthier alternative. There is a healthier alternative. We try to change the conversation and how we communicate to each other. There's no reason for a man to have to yell at a woman. There's no reason for a woman to have to yell at a man to communicate what they're trying to say to each other.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
reason.
gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now because it's no different than children. My mom say, "Hey, Lana, don't touch the stove." Yeah, right. Now, if she yelled at me and said it,
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm
gonna take
grown. I
that a
don't need
little
you
bit
to yell at
differently.
me. I'm an educated, competent woman. I don't need you to yell at me. Just open your mouth and talk and articulate. And I don't hear
Yeah,
you.
that soft voice crap doesn't always work.
It ain't
And
no voice.
so here's
It's
the
the truth.
thing. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give
You
you an
ain't got to give
example.
me no example.
No, I
I
do.
understand what
Now
you're
check this
saying.
out. Check this out.
Oh, go
Kevin
ahead, baby.
Samuel was a great representation of women saying they don't like his tone. They
Yeah,
don't
who
like
died
how he's
in a
talking to women.
hotel with a Puerto
Now
Rican
hold
husband.
on. Now hold on. They said
All right.
we don't like his tone. And I
Right.
always used to say, how would this sound? Would the women have the same opinions if guys who weren't saying this saying the same thing? Would y'all get the message if someone said it in a more calm tone? If they were more beta in their voice? And then what we see,
don't change your voice. Just use your one regular voice. Just use
nope,
that
nope, because it don't work that way. And we've seen that. We've seen the
in your
same
life.
thing that he's saying not working at all. In fact, I would argue he's done it better. There was an episode of Fresh and Fit that I saw where the dark skinned guy, Fresh, there was a whole, they got all the girls around. They had some special guests. They were wild. They were riled. They were all talking. Fresh is sitting here like, come on, y'all. Come on. Pay attention. Come on. Let's calm it down. He's in his regular voice, his little beta voice. Nothing was happening. Myron raised his voice. That entire stream shut down. Everyone got in line. And
So
they could continue on with the show.
You think that's the way to go?
I'm saying that sometimes it's necessary to get things in line.
You are real stenciled and really stringent, You gotta get it in line. Yeah.
Hey Queen, could you lower your voice? Thank you.
Yes, Urban, I will. Okay. Thank you for asking me so softly. I appreciate it.
Queen, shut up.
No, that's right.
Hey, y'all seen the different reactions, right? And in her mind, she like, look at this old beta ass nigga telling me to be quiet. I really ain't gonna be quiet.
No, I was not.
When I tell her to shut up, she like, she kind of like, I know you didn't tell me to shut up, but at the same time, she like, ooh, he told me to shut up.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not actually. No, I didn't. To be honest, you need to put a little bit more bass in your voice. For real. Bro, I get what you're saying. But to be honest, two logical thinking individuals, I feel like it's not needed. But maybe Pookie and Ray Ray, maybe they need it. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't need nobody yelling at me I can sit down and have a decent conversation with somebody. Especially if we have a disagreement. I'm not gonna be like, you gotta yell at me to get me to listen to you. Like, that's ridiculous to me. But okay. Anywho. I hope you guys thought this was insightful, guys. Any last comments? I think this was a great show. Every time Urban come up here and Lionel come up here, and my new friend here, SBK, it's been really interesting. I love this dialogue. I do. We need to have more of this. He said, don't say that he might feel that you're emasculating him. Sweet Ready, you on a roll tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Well, I'm a grown man. I don't let my feelings dictate to me. How about that?
That sounds real good, and I'm gonna adopt that. Lionel? No.
This was a fun show.
Thank you, Lionel, for being so
I appreciate you having me up here.
So we charge like $5 per person up here.
Really?
Right? The help the show out.
You shouldn't have came up here. I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, you good though. We always enjoy pulling up.
Hey,
I appreciate it though.
Hey, I thank you so much. This won't be the last time I pull up on you, so I appreciate it.
And I keep trying to tell you, I don't know what it is. I tried this new strategy and it kind of put me in the algorithm a little bit more. And then of course, UP and Urban, they've been sharing PP, they've been sharing me out and stuff like that. I'm like, I have good dialogue, good content, but this year it seems to I've been getting a lot of traffic, so I appreciate it. I honestly do.
Yeah, your short. Urban put out a short. He sent it to. We're in a little Discord. Myself, Urban, Lionel, and some other folks, and he put that short out. And I'm like, man, who's he on the panel with? So I checked it out, and y'all were going back and forth. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I checked out your page, I was like, man, she's entertaining. I like, So I went ahead and subscribed to you, whatever. So
He gonna tell me why I didn't take the plan B, and I told him why his pullout game was strong.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was a good conversation, man. It really was.
Yeah, y'all had it lit.
Thank you. And I heard he was taking easy on me. That's what he said. He said he was taking easy on me that night. That's what he said.
He really was. He was reserved.
Oh, okay.
But see, whenever he gets on my panel, or because I got a lot of ladies that follow me on my panel, he's fine.
Well, thank you.
Cooking, be vicious.
He's gonna be vicious with me because I can't take it. I'll start crying. No. I'll start crying. All right, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before we get off, 4 more comments. Who was this commenting? Okay, I did come on the daily. She said she did with y'all on the daily. Pay her then. Oh, okay. Yeah, I feeling that. She gave you all some good advice. Thank you. It didn't him laughing. Okay.
Sour Patch, Bill, good moderator, and drop on SBK channel in the chat. Thank you so much for being so submissive.
Yes, I will. We want over here. I don't mind doing the dropping the channels and dropping your Cash App. Somebody came through and blessed one of my subscribers just by them dropping their Cash App. This is what we do over here. You never know who may come through, so I'm all good with that. So please do. All right. So y'all, you guys stay tuned. I'm going to be bringing some fresh content. If you're watching the replay, I want to say thank you so much for showing your support, because you don't have to do that. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I think I'm gonna be there really soon. So thank you guys for your support, because you don't have to do it. All right, this is your Queen Clayleen saying be great. Bye bye.